Welcome everybody to day 2 of the CoachChamps tournament. I'm candidate master Can Kabadayı and my host, international master David Cruz. We welcome you all to this day 2 of the first ever event where coaches are competing. Let's discuss the format, David, a little bit, right?
Yeah. So it started off a month ago when each of us, you, myself, and 6 others, drafted students from 4 different rating groups. So we each got 1 player under 800, 1 player between 8 and 1200, 1 player between 12 and 1600, and 1 player between 1600 and 2000. So some different challenges at those different levels. And we've been working with them for about 4 weeks, leading up to the tournaments now. Each of the 4 groups has its own tournament. So yesterday we had the under 800 tournament, and today we have the 800 to 1200 tournament. John, you want to tell them the format for today's tournament?
Yes, of course. So it's the first time ever event where the coaches are competing, where each coach drafted 4 people and we're working with each other for like... Yes, of course. Sorry about that. My son intervened. Sorry about this for today, guys. Yeah. So we each picked 4 people from different rating bands and we worked with them for 4 full weeks. So now time has come for round robin tournament where our students will compete against each other. And the time control is 10+2, 7 rounds today. And the coach who earned the most points based on student performance will win the event. There are still 3 more days to go. And these are the coaches. Well, yours truly, Grandmaster Artus Nixons, sorry about that. Dina Belenkaya, David Roseman, of course, we all know that. Robert Ramirez, Ben Feingold, Andras Toth, and you, David, are among the 8 coaches. And yeah, I mean, I picked Pingu 7. I am very excited about him. He's a young guy, a university student. He improved almost 100 ratings during this month, so I'm very hopeful about his performance today. David, he's my guy. And you work with Cash Carbon, right?
Yeah, I've got my hopes on Cash Day as well. He was great to work with. We had a good month together, and I'm hoping that he'll have a good day today, of course.
Yeah, we'll do some banter when they play against each other on round 4, David. Waiting for that.
Okay. Round 4,
yes.
You've got it all marked. You did your preparation.
Well, we did our prep.
You did your prep?
Yes. Yeah. Pricing. Let's talk about pricing.
Yeah.
So it's the coaches will earn money and not students, David. Just very briefly. Right. The first place will earn $7,500. Well, that's a lot of money for this, I would say. It would not be bad to get that. Second prize for the coaches, $5,000. Third place, $2,500. And $1,500 will be shared among last 5 seats. And there's also one final prize, Improver's Choice, $1,500. Will be decided on the final day of the event. Well,
right on. So
court standings.
Results from yesterday. Arturs had a great start. Yeah. He had Nabolini. Flying Artur's flag yesterday, and Nabolini took first place with 5.5 out of 7 yesterday. Gives us a little bit of a sense of how many points it takes to win one of these round robins. He was followed with 5 points by Dina's student. So it was close at the top yesterday.
It was very close, and then when you look at the rest of the coaches here, right, David, we didn't mention that we were among the last 3, which sort of shows the full randomness and coin toss of the first round, I would say, right? Otherwise, it will be hard to explain, and things will change most likely from day 2 to day 4.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, one day has not necessarily any bearing on the next day for the coaches, because in some cases you had a very early pick in one round, a very late pick in another round. So you may have a player who's the favorite or the highest rated in one group and the lowest rated in another. So there will be some up and down, but the idea of this competition is to see if over 4 days you have a coach who comes out ahead, who was able to take a lower seed and, bring them up 100 points or 200 points in a month and get a higher performance out of them.
Absolutely. And the pairings for round 1 under 1200. Pingu 7 my student versus Klingerman Chess. QQQ1M versus Yandrao. The Chris 11 versus 84 Moose, and Cash Carbon your student against SM Tariq Al Islam.
Yeah.
The game war starting soon.
Yeah. We'll be right into the chess soon, folks. The way a round robin works, for anyone not familiar with it, is that everybody will play everybody over the course of the event. So 8 players, each of them 7 opponents, 7 rounds, either 4 whites and 3 blacks or 4 blacks and 3 whites. And yeah, do you think that there are any particular favorites in this group as the first moves come out?
Well, after my student, obviously, there are some candidates. Yeah, moves are flying. That's great. That's great. Yeah, this bird's eye view is nice, so we can have a look at the basic overview before maybe we can jump in to a particular game, which looks like the most interesting one.
Yeah. Exchange Caro-Kann. In my preparations, I saw this opening quite a few times from quite a few players. The Caro-Kann seems to be pretty popular, both in this 800 to 1200 group and in the 1200 to 1600 group. Pretty popular.
Levi Roseman effect, most likely, because he preached Caro-Kann defense, I believe.
Yeah, could well be. I was thinking that too. Some of my students said that as well.
Yeah. What do you think? So the first board is my student Pingu. He's playing with white color against the Caro-Kann, right. The Carlsbad pawn formation. There is this second board which look quite sharp with kings on opposite flanks, right? The King's Indian battle. French on board 3.
Yeah,
all look quite interesting so far.
We've got a real mix of openings, and one thing that I would say, which is strange, is we have no e4, e5. And I'm sure yesterday, I'm sure it was a lot of e4, e5s yesterday. And when I looked in the database preparing for a lot of these groups, I saw a lot of games with e4, e5, a lot of Italian openings all the way up to 1200. It's such a common opening. And here we've got 4 boards, very refreshing without that.
That's right. Yeah.
The first big action is coming from Moose against Christie. So maybe let's go check out.
Yeah, let's go check that. Let's go check that.
I think I have to back up 3 moves to see how the queens got traded in this position here. So let's see if we can just
and we can see the players as well. We can see their live video as well with these knights.
So the queens faced off here on move 8, kind of like in some London systems and Queen's Gambit declines. And in this position, Moose agreed to the queen trade, having calculated that the d4 pawn wasn't sufficiently defended.
Yeah. Good vision.
So good catch. Wins a pawn. Takes it. And that move's gonna hurt white.
Hangs a piece.
Yeah. I noticed that this happens a lot. Even up to tomorrow's level, I think you'll see it a lot.
For sure.
But when somebody misses something, that then they get kind of flustered, and on the next move they miss something else. You know what I mean? Like you lose a pawn.
One blunder is followed by the second one quite quickly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, what do? I need some kind of a counter. I need some, I need to gain back some ground right away. And Moose snaps it up. Playing quite quickly, 9 minutes left on the clock with this extra piece. So tremendous start for Moose, and that's the live position for us there.
Yep.
And let me ask you a question about these players. 1200 rating for Moose, very high 1380 rating for B. Chris, who was rated about 1200 a month ago. So they've gained easily 150 points this month.
That's amazing.
At this level, with 1 extra bishop in this endgame, do you think the chances are 50% that black converts, or 100%, or 75? Where do you put it?
Yeah, no, I mean it's hard. Converting an advantage is actually quite difficult. Even for 1500s, I believe it's not that easy to accurately, in a very technical fashion to convert advantage, but even material advantage sometimes, yeah, with this extra bishop.
Mhm.
It's not guaranteed. Things are still not full, like floors are not fully raised yet for this level. For example, they can still blunder a piece just like that. There are chances that they might lose a
Mhm.
piece later on at this level. That these are my observations at least. Even 1500s, they are not fully consistent. That was my observation when I looked at so many games. Right, like they can
Mhm.
play one of the best games in their lives, and they can blunder cruelly in a single move. So this
Yeah.
consistency is still an issue. So lots of things can still go in different directions here. So it's not a given, I would say.
Yeah. Interestingly, Moose is slowing down a tiny bit,
Yeah,
um, and playing kind of carefully. This last move, Bishop D8, might not look obvious to all our viewers,
yeah,
but Moose noticed that with the rooks doubled on the A file, White could grab the pawn on
bishop.
B6. That was kind of
Yeah,
the threat, was the pawn on B6. So Moose plays sort of, a little bit of like a passive move, not the move you would be playing if you were just blitzing along happily. But it seems to be a pretty solid way to defend the pawn. And
yeah.
yeah,
Well, b5 always be answered by knight a5, so I guess black is counting on that. It's not a big issue. And yeah, so what's white's plan really to put more pressure? Yeah, it's hard to put more pressure on the black's position. It seems. So it's a nice
yeah.
move.
B. Chris thought a while about this move knight to d4, because I think bishop d8 really, shut down their first plan. But they go knight d4 and they trade off the knight that was defending the a pawn. So now they're going to take back one pawn,
Right.
and it's costing them some trades, but in the resulting position, they got one pawn back, rook's on a good square, and black's bishop on d8 is stuck defending this b6 pawn. So black's a little bit tied up trying to get that bishop back off of the back rank.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm having technical issues, I guess, David. I cannot see the screen live.
oh,
Is
that
it on
makes
my
it.
end, or can you see the live board? Yes. Now I see the live board. Now I can see
I
it.
see the live board,
Yep.
but yeah, when you can't see the
But
board, it
that was
makes
a
it
delay.
definitely challenging. Um, I
It's
lost
frozen.
something.
Even. You're also frozen, like everything.
Okay, I lost something too, which is I lost
Not
the
really.
I
Now
lost
it's
the
fine.
broadcast
Now I
window, but
can
I
see
still
it.
hear you.
Yep. Yep. Now I can see the board. Wow, so many things happened. Black still has
Okay,
a piece. That's cool. Yes. Now I'm here, David.
now you're here. Great. Okay, and we can see the players are here too.
Cool.
Um, we see B Chris and 84 Moose at work. One of them has a very bright room with red, and the other is dark. And that's going to be us soon as well, because I think the sun is rising for me, and it's going to be setting for you.
It's setting in Sweden. Yes, it's already quite a gloomy day, cloudy. Quite dark already. So
Yeah.
we are getting used to the winter time, more or less.
So Moose
Okay.
has
Are we
found
gonna
a way.
stay here until the end, or yeah?
No, I think maybe we
Mhm.
should bounce around, but I'll just say Moose found a way to free the
Yeah.
bishop
Let's
on
bounce
d8
around. Let's
by
bounce
advancing
around.
that pawn. So let's go
I'm
to
a little
what
bit curious about our students too.
you're curious about. Which one?
About both of our students here. Let's
Yeah,
see.
Cash Carbon's game looks
Pingu
interesting.
and
He's
Carbon.
defending checkmate. Um,
Yeah.
maybe I should go. Maybe I should go to Cash's game for a moment, since he's trying to make a checkmate. See if he's going to be able to do it. Ooh, Tariq found a great defense there with the queen.
Let's see.
Great defense. Yeah. The queen can come over, recapture on f6, and stop the checkmate. So now Cash has to be careful. He's got this bishop on h6, protected by the pin. But, when you're trying to checkmate your opponent, you're also often at risk for a little bit because your pieces are on these aggressive squares. So if you don't keep track of something, you can lose them.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
he goes for a trade. And I think he has in mind to try bishop g5 next. And Tariq really needs to take his time on this next move right here. Oh my goodness. So if the queen moves, white's going to win pretty easily by taking on d8. So you have to have that sense like, oh, I might be about to lose. Let me look really hard for some resource. And then the move rook takes d1 is the complicated resource to try calculating here.
Yeah.
And Cash might be able to win by sacrificing the two rooks and going for checkmate. But I don't know. These are very heavy calculations for players at this 11 to 1200 level. Trying to look 2-3 moves ahead. And a lot of them won't really go for sacrifices.
Yes. Sorry, there was a delay in my screen as well. So now we are updated again. Just looking at the board.
Yeah. So Tariq
yeah.
didn't
So
go
extra
for
piece for Cash.
This is a good puzzle. Folks in chat, you could calculate for yourselves this as an exercise. What would have happened if black played rook takes d1, bishop takes queen, rook takes e1 check. Yeah, I think white gets a checkmate actually by sacking the two rooks. But you can all test yourselves on that. In any case, the upshot was that Tariq moved the queen away, and Cash is able to cash in that rook. And now he's got two rooks against one, maybe even one against zero after they trade on d8. So I think we'll switch to another board since that looks safely in white's advantage there. Let's go
This
check
looks
on your student.
converted already. Yeah, let's check Pingu. I'm sort of curious about my student.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so Pingu has two pawns against a bishop here.
Okay.
So a small advantage for Klingerman. Yeah. Do you want me to backtrack and see if there was a tactic?
Yeah, just backtrack. Just backtrack. Yep.
Okay. So Klingerman played a very aggressive and interesting move here with e5 on move 14. I guess it's motivated by the fact that he'd sacrificed a pawn on the queen side, so he was looking to get some kind of action going. Generally a good idea if a game's going against you to try and mix things up or make something difficult for your opponent. So he goes for e5. Initially, your student reacts well with trading and then stops trading. No!
No, really? Okay.
Yeah, he stopped recapturing.
This must be some sort of a shock of stress of the first round.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw this like once or twice in some of the games of these students when I was, playing through games. Not all of them, but every now and then somebody would simply not recapture. And well,
maybe he missed up because maybe he thought d takes e5 was already played and he prepared rook e1 against queen takes e5, right? Maybe like some sort of a glitch in the brain that he
some
thought
kind of an input error. Pawn takes, queen takes, rook e1 would be the normal plan.
Yes. Wow. So it's only explained by stress and the first round psychology. I mean, there's no other explanation. Of course, he's much stronger than that. So that I can assure you.
Yeah. Okay, and Klingerman then makes a choice. Instead of trading rooks on the e-file, he tries to maximize the position of his minor pieces. So he chases the white queen back, gets the black pieces onto good squares, and now he goes for his own sacrifice. Knight takes f2.
That's incredible. Okay, what's the point?
Proud knight. I don't know what the intended follow-up is in case of king takes knight.
Yeah. And I hope
Mhm.
Pingu will take because he's down a piece anyhow. So I mean, right? If there are some chances, it's here.
Mhm. Yeah. It's hard to watch from that coach perspective where you're like hoping that they'll play good moves and worrying about each move.
No, yesterday was a heart attack, basically. I mean, my student, she started an amazing, she checkmated for the first three games. Incredible start. I was having heart attacks while watching because it's
Uh-huh.
always, we never know what's going to happen. Like the piece can
Right.
be hanging. Maybe she cannot see the mate in one. But then when she starts mating, it's like this incredible feeling. So it's really hard, I noticed, to watch your student.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's just
Very,
kind of difficult.
very bad for your health. Very bad.
Yep.
They've got
Almost having a
3
heart
minutes.
attack.
They've got 3 minutes each, by the way, here. So time could eventually become a factor in this game,
Yeah.
um,
Yep. We
because it's still the
discussed time
middle
management
game.
with Pingu. So much
Sorry.
calculation remaining, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, what were you going to say about Pingu's time management? Is it normally pretty good, pretty bad, somewhere in between?
Yeah, I think it was, let's say, not great when we started working. And I told him to make simple moves relatively fast, right? Like just positional moves, simple improvements relatively fast to gain more time on his clock. And he improved on that as well. So
Hmm.
I hope that he will. I mean, the first round is always stressful, of course, but I hope that will click in at some point.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an awful lot for them to think about, depending on how much advice we've given them over the course of this month. Chess is a lot of moving parts. Then there's everything they normally think about. Then there's everything their coach has told them. And then there's the pressure of playing in a different situation because these players are playing under, strict Chess.com fair play uh, setup, which is going to be new for them, right? To be playing
Yeah.
with two different screens showing, or
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
they're showing two different cameras, angles on their room on stream like this. It's a lot. It's a lot for them to handle.
It's a lot to process. Yes. So I was amazed yesterday because she was even streaming her on Twitch channel while playing. Like
Mm.
300,000 people watching. It was on the main page of Twitch. And she was talking, highlighting, like she was doing so many things while also like implementing lessons and so on. Incredible work for the students. Every single one of them
Oh.
deserves real credit here.
Oh, so she really did well. On this
Yeah.
game here, I think time will probably be a factor because I generally tell my students to try and leave about 2 minutes on the clock for the end game. And here we've got 2 minutes against 3 minutes, and the position still looks very complicated to me.
You're so correct here. Queens are on the board. And yeah, I'm worried about Pingu's time right now. It's already becomes a big difference, more or less two versus three.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm slightly getting worried here in terms of only about time. Not so much about the position, but mostly about time right now.
And Klingerman just played a great move and reasonably quickly.
Yeah,
Um, this move allows the rook to get to the g file to coordinate with the bishop. It couldn't do that before because of the knight on e5. And if he
that's right.
wants to, he could play f6 at some point to kick the knight. So, I mean, this was a
Multiple.
very, very strong move.
Yeah, great move actually. Yeah. Rook f1. Okay.
Good answer. Good
So
answer. Now, if you want to play rook g5, there's knight f7. I mean, I don't know if with 1 minute on the clock, you have any
yes,
hope of calculating something that complicated.
yeah, but at least that's the thought. That will maybe impose black for the moment.
Yeah. F6 comes in. Okay.
Yeah.
Respecting this knight f7 idea, trying to kick the knight off its best square. And impressive positional moves there, the last two moves from Klingerman, as they're starting to get low on time to play such an end game, such a middle game.
So true. Again, 2 versus 1 minute. I'm getting worried here. Let's see how Pingu treats this. It's a
Mhm.
reasonable decision. Just exchange it for an attacker. You already have an extra pawn.
Very good decision. Also, there was the threat of rook
Yep.
g5 if you retreated the knight, depending where
Exactly.
you wanted to go with it.
Exactly.
Knight d3.
Knight d3 hangs the pawn after takes and takes on b2.
Hmm. Right.
He
He
didn't
was
see it.
dreaming of some really good squares like c5 and f4, trying to maximize where the
Yes.
knight went. But yeah, bishop
Yes.
takes d3, rook b2 would have been scary. So now the
Nice.
knight gets to a nice outpost.
I like that. Now give us rook e1, please, and we are very happy as white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as black, we would want to stop rook e1 probably with queen e7, or queen g3 maybe.
Yes, in g3. Oh yeah, he
Queen
plays
g3.
fast. I think he's a very practical player. He plays good moves fast. He puts
Mm-hmm.
pressure.
Yeah. There's maybe a threat of bishop takes h3, so white needs to cover.
Queen f2 is the only move most likely, but yeah, let's hope that he will play it quickly. Queen
Yeah.
f2 looks quite reasonable actually. Oh no, he missed it.
Yeah.
He missed it.
He missed it. Allows bishop takes h3, and with 30 seconds on his clock, this is going to be very hard to handle now.
Yeah, it came down to time trouble, as you mentioned. This was exactly my fear, and it's sort of happening.
Yeah. I mean, he can still play queen f2 and the
Yeah,
game goes on. It's just that he's more than a minute down on the
let's hope he
clock. That's
finds
really
it.
the problem now.
Yep, yep. But I saw it from his face. He was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't expect that. Yeah, I think he will collapse. I mean, unfortunately, really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Now there's a fancy move, bishop g2,
Yeah.
overworking the queen who's defending the knight and the pawn. Yeah. But it's not found. And this is my point. If Pingu had another minute or two, anything could
Yeah,
happen.
you could figure this out, but now rook e2 is coming most likely, and yeah,
Oh, Klingerman finds a heavy blow and he's got a minute to work it all out. So he's probably in control right here.
yeah,
You
you
offer
got made.
queen trade, last chance. If you trade queens, the game continues. If you take on f2,
Checkmate
and
in two.
Klingerman's taking his time, calculating, finds it. Killer
Yeah,
performance by Klingerman this game,
very
honestly.
practical play. Maybe he's a good place player. We have to check that. But in time trouble, he put real pressure. So that should be
Yeah.
applauded from his side.
Yeah.
If Pingu had more time, he would find Queen f2 most likely. But again, it
Hmm.
just came down to time being so important. You need that time, extra time in those critical moments. Once again,
Yeah.
huge for this tournament.
Yeah. So the first round starts with 4 wins, no draws. We've got points scored by Klingerman Chess, as we just saw. QQQ1M, 84 Moose did convert that extra bishop in the endgame, and Cash Carbon did get a checkmate with the extra rook on the other board. So 4 players off to good starts, 4 players off to tough starts. They probably have a couple minutes between rounds. I'm guessing it's approximately 1 game every half hour. On the half hour,
Yes.
probably. So the players get a few minutes to
Yes.
recover, work on their nerves, work on their
Yep.
emotions,
Yep.
refocus on what needs to come next. Maybe remember their plans if they had any specific plans for an opponent. Like against this opponent, I want to play my new shiny gambit. Sometimes you need to remember what you're going to do, right? And if you're really excited about the time scramble from round 1, you could forget what opening you wanted to play in round 2 very easily.
Yeah, we did some opening prep with Pingu. Hopefully, he'll remember it. He just needs to readjust, as you said. Wash his face, meditation, maybe a couple of minutes, and come back fresh.
Yeah.
He should be happy because he literally made the piece odd. He just hang a piece for nothing, and he still recovered. He was almost winning again. He was in good position, so he should look at the bright side. It's hard, I know, but there are also good things to be taken from the first game.
Yeah. I also prepared a few openings for cash, but not every single round. So, it kind of depends a little bit on the opponent, how easy or hard they are to prepare for, how much it's worth trying to memorize something specific in their openings. So,
Yeah, for the confidence boost, we looked at the openings briefly, but we didn't spend so much time at this level for the opening prep.
Yeah.
Yes, let's have a little break, David, and we follow up with round 2 very, very soon, within 5 minutes.
two legendary world champions, Garry Kasparov and Vishwanathan Anand, will do battle once again in Clutch Chess, The Legends, a special exhibition match celebrating their incredible legacies. Kasparov, a chess icon who held the title for 15 consecutive years, and Anand, a 5-time world champion, will compete in an epic Chess 960 match with $144,000 in prizes on the line. Catch this unique moment in chess history live from the new state-of-the-art facility at the St. Louis Chess Club. It's an unforgettable event you won't want to miss.
It's only a pawn. Give me the bishop. Yes. Tactics. No, it's on F1. Oh yes. Check. No. That's on G2. Yeah. I'm scrambled. Someone find the queen so I can promote it. It's only 8 balls. Somewhere it's made. Okay.
David, round 2 is about to begin.
Yeah.
Let's hope that things will change for my student for the good. Cash Carbon had a great start.
It stayed the same for mine.
Yeah, let's hope that we'll score a little better today than yesterday.
Yeah.
But in any case, I think it's a good start, even for Pingu, in terms of quality of play after he lost the piece. So I'm very hopeful about his future today. We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. So games will start in about a minute, folks. And while we're waiting for the games, I really wanted to ask John about what your training was for this particular group. I think we can reveal what we did for this group at this point, right? Because they won't be able to use any hot tips in the tournament today. So what was the focus of your training with Pingu this month?
Yeah, I was about to actually invite you to my podcast, David, to discuss this in depth. Because for the first time ever, we are having maybe evidence, data-based evidence on which might be working nicely. Although 1 month is not enough, we need more sample size, obviously, yeah. but still quite interesting data, like comparing different techniques and seeing maybe what affects the most.
Yeah.
So from my side,
I will definitely join your podcast, but yeah, tell me about your side.
Yeah, once this is over, let's hope that you will become the champion or me, and then we can discuss. Yeah, maybe like learn from the masters. But but I've worked with Pingu in a way that, again, time management, making simple decisions fast, because at this level, for the first time, basic positional sense is improving, feeling for the pieces, improving a bad piece to a better square. People are seeing these things, basic weaknesses in position. So that's what we did. Not most like opening work, but basic positional work, and also calculation, and also blunder check puzzles. I gifted in my course, the chess elevator. There are levels until 1200 in that course. So he's just around that level. And it sort of worked. He improved almost 100 points. He was crashing through like new barriers, like new heights in his game on Chess.com. So I'm very happy overall.
So mostly off of positional sense, you're saying, right? Positional sense.
In a way that, because in his game, he was wasting so much time sometimes in simple decisions. So I want to give him some basic tools to improve a piece, look at the weaknesses, and make those simple decisions, improving little pieces, step by step. Without so much into opening memorization, theory, but mostly about this. And obviously blunder check as well, because blunders are still huge. They still keep on hanging pieces. Very basic processes are still failing. So we combined very basic thought process, blunder check, and feeling for the pieces, basic positional sense we worked on.
Okay.
How about
so
you?
Blunder check on the tactical front and positional sense. Yeah. I mean, for me, I often don't teach too much strategy until around 1200. So so some of these players getting to 11 to 1200, that's kind of where I would first tell them about, this is a good piece or this is a bad piece or something of that sort. But I actually mainly had Cash practice. It's showing Cash, by the way, right now instead of Pingu.
Yeah, I mean, we have the same pawn structure. Exchange Caro-Kann. I was like, are we going to see the same thing again?
Yeah. So there's Pingu, getting exactly the same opening as in round one, by the way, folks. But in terms of, what I did with Cash, I mostly had him practice, play a lot of 10+2 games because that was going to be the format of the tournament. And then I had him do tactical puzzles. And that was probably 90% of our training.
Yeah. Obviously, Pingu also solved puzzles. So that's a requirement in any case, right? So that was always in the back of his training regimen, like basic puzzle solving. But on top of that, we also discussed that, a couple of other things. But it's also about intensity, right? I mean, how often did you meet Cash Carbon? Like once a week, usually?
Twice a week.
Twice a week, okay. Yeah. He has more time, most likely, because he's a full-time streamer, right? He has more time on chess.
Well, actually, he has a full-time job as well. In addition to being a streamer. Yeah, he's got a full-time job. So we only had 2 days a week that routinely worked, matched up for our schedules. But yeah, he works all day, comes home, and then streams chess for like 3 or 4 hours when he gets home. He's a very, I would say, a very motivated person. One of those people who has a lot of goals and like works on one thing and works on the next thing, and is just really into what they're doing.
Very good. Pingu, he's around 18. He just started university. He lives in Switzerland, in Bern. So lots of novelty in his life. Lots of novelty. So new people, new faces, So it was kind of a transition period in his life. So we could meet once a week. That was our regular routine for this month.
Okay, once a week, yeah. So this is a solid position here. I'm looking around at what some of the other positions are. Funny that Moose and Carbon have a very similar structure compared to the one that we're seeing here.
Right.
Yeah. And I recall from my notes, this is one of the games where I had tried to give Cash some opening prep, because Moose really likes to play a Stonewall. And so I tried to show Cash a move order that could prevent the stonewall.
Right.
And let me see if he was able to prevent it.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay. So his opponent, this is a very tricky prep. So Cash remembered his opening prep. So
Cool.
that's pretty cool. You never know when you're giving someone opening prep, right? If they're going to use it or not.
Yeah.
You totally agree, I can see.
It's
so
hard. Yeah.
do you know this tricky move, knight c6? I think
No,
most masters will know this move.
Is it like knight b4, bishop f5 business? How do you stop?
Right. The point
Okay.
is you're threatening e5. White's playing this move order. This is the move order people play to get the stonewall. e3, bishop d3, so then they can play f4, knight f3, right? But right here, you threaten e5, and you also threaten knight b4. It's basically a double threat, this move knight c6.
Nice.
And so White has a choice, and wow, he made it in 2 seconds, 84 Moose did. Such a fast player. He's never faced this line before, but he chooses to stop e5, and Cash plays knight b4, and if the bishop retreats, then there's bishop f5 with a good position for black.
Yeah.
He played c3, which is a bad move, by the way. I predicted he would do it in this position, but it's a bad move because it further weakens the light squares when you're about to give up that bishop. So,
right.
Yeah. So then we get sort of a stonewall position here. And this is how it follows up. Here's a very important move for anyone out there around this level who's been terrorized by the stonewall. If you can move the knight off of f6, which Cash found a chance to do, and then play pawn to f6, you get rid of that knight on e5. And that really frees up black's position.
Cool.
Now we've lost the pawn on e6, though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that was my point for this level, right? They can play amazing chess, but then sometimes they don't see these one move threats. Like this is so important to be able to at all times to notice one move threats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also one of these things where you see a move that you want to play and you move away from something. So here he's playing bishop to b5, looking at what he wants to do, but giving up, but not looking back at what the bishop was already doing. So when he brings the bishop away from d7, that's where he's sort of hanging his own pawn.
Yes, this is such a typical blunder, David. I made a couple of videos about this. Also, the opponent's move was an escape. Black attacked the queen, queen escaped, and then they missed the threat. They don't see their next move, so to speak, in those moments. Like psychologically, it's difficult for most people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there goes that pawn. Bishop d7. And I noticed very good of Moose. Moose saw the pawn was hanging on e6, but calculated a while before taking it. So Moose had seen bishop d7 was possible, lining up the queen and the rook, and was just double checking, like, I can get out of this with a check, right?
Yes.
3-ply calculation. See the computer screaming at us that rook takes d6 is even better for white, but the point is Moose was double checking, saw a way to grab the pawn, get out scot-free. And so now he's got an extra pawn, and still an interesting game. It's only one pawn at this level. That's not decisive.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So Cash goes g5.
Wow. Very brave. Wow.
Yep.
I'll tell you this, since it won't help Pingu anymore, because you can't tell Pingu this, but Cash is a very brave player. He's willing to make sacrifices and play complicated moves where he doesn't know for sure if it's good or not.
He welcomes chaos. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not just going for chaos all the time, no matter what, but he's open to it. All right, knight f3.
Yeah, knight f3. So, of course, they couldn't take it because of the alignment. That's what Cash saw.
Yeah.
But then the question is g5 a weakening move for the black king or not? Right? Like, yeah.
This is a very, very intense moment for the players because black could get in trouble if white's able to break through on g5, and white could get in trouble if black is able to win the pawn on f4. So it's a really critical moment.
Look at Cash's body language. He's making faces after he makes a move. He seems very excited.
Yeah, and Moose played this move really fast, which is a good sign for Moose to be able to play some of the moves quickly here. And Cash leaves the queen hanging to go for the trade. I assume that white could have completely won with rook takes queen, pawn takes queen, rook takes a8, right? It's pretty
incredible. He played it so fast, David. White played so fast here.
Okay, and now rook e7 looks crushing as well. It looks like the rook on a8 is really costing black, not having gotten it coordinated. Cash started the action too quickly here when he traded on f4.
But also they play incredibly fast in a very sharp position. White is also playing so fast, despite having like 7 minutes on his clock.
Yeah. Moose is a very fast player, and Cash is a somewhat slow player. So.
Yeah, now he realizes it.
Yeah. So that's going to be the death knell for black. There's nowhere for Cash's king to go anymore if it backs up. White has queen h6 and queen f6. So this is a battle between two players who won their first games, and Moose is the one who's going to keep a perfect score going here in this tournament. So we're going to pop over to some other boards. Looks like there's action here also, a king chase going on between J. Andorra and B. Chris. White has sacrificed material to chase this black king around the board. Very, very enterprising play by J. Andorra.
Let's see. This looks quite crashing for white at first sight. No, wait, just the down exchange. I just missed that. Let's see. The king is exposed on c7 for sure.
Yeah. Very complicated position. Exciting.
Yeah. I wonder how he sacked the exchange. This might be very instructive. Like the moment he goes for the exchange sacrifice to counter this.
All right. Let me see if I can find it. So here's a moment where the game was still equal material. Black decided to defend the rook by just running out of the center with the king, which makes sense. But drops a piece.
Yes.
Took here. Oh, and now white's afraid to take back because of rook g8.
Yes.
Very complicated. I'm going to guess that white played queen f7 here and gave the rook on d1. I don't know what white should do.
Most likely. Yep.
Queen f7. Bold move from Andorra.
Well, he's a student of Dina, right? Russian School of Chess, the Soviet sacrifice.
Check, check, check. Rook recaptures, and the bishop is still safe on c5. That was a major piece of good play there from Andorra. Good calculation. Wow.
Very tense.
Tries to play bishop a5.
Yes.
Black defends the only way they can. Sometimes there's a certain piece in these bad positions as black because you just have to play the only move that stops, white's number one threat.
Sometimes defending is easy in that sense, yes. He lost the exchange again.
So this rook moved off of the a pawn. Oh, because white was attacking it from this angle as well. And the bishops are just all over the place here. And
from the battery, maybe even rook d3s. It's opposite color bishops favor the attacker. Looks crashing for white, Plus 3 extra pawns.
3 extra pawns, but it's really the king safety that would normally decide these kind of games. Andorra decides 3 pawns is enough and stops trying to checkmate. I'm surprised by that.
Wow, I'm shocked to see this move, actually. given how unsafe the Black King was.
Right.
Right? So interesting.
And given how aggressively he'd played the game up till this point, right?
Yes, yes.
There was a funny trap, by the way. If white lifted the rook to go for the attack with the rook, there's the back rank mate, rook e7. And even if you check bishop c7, and it looks like white has really messed up. So I think correct would be bishop f3, leaving the rook on the back rank and preparing to put the queen on d5. And black's never going to be able to cover the light squares with these opposite bishops. White aims for an endgame and black declines it. And white offers it again. Wild. So white can bully the black queen at least now.
Yeah, maybe Dina told him that if you're of material, go for the queen trade. Maybe just applying a heuristic.
Yeah. Okay, some hesitation. And their clock's down to 3 minutes. I think if it gets under 2 minutes, I would start to say there's some randomness introduced.
Randomness involved.
Yeah.
Bishop a3. You found your plan, David. You found the best plan. Also covering f2 against bishop b6 ideas. That's a multi-purpose move.
Yeah. That's a powerful move. Of course, it also threatens a queen trade, which Andorra might be interested in here with queen d6, although the main threat is queen d5. And that's a nice find with still over 2 minutes on the clock. I'd give Andorra a 90% chance of winning this game, despite it still being kind of complicated.
Look at their rating, by the way. Look at this big difference between those ratings.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Chris had the best month of any of these players, going from apparently 1150 to 1370 in 1 month. I mean, it's huge progress, 200 plus points. But today, he hasn't been able to get a point in this tournament at the very beginning, and he's in danger of this being 0-2 here. Andorra follows up bishop f3 quickly, so there was some looking ahead and some planning there. I don't really have great advice for Chris here. You should avoid mate in 1, so maybe king c8 or something.
He was a gentleman. He allowed checkmate.
Checkmate. Checkmate allowed. Let's see what games we still have going. We've got your student playing. Maybe we'll pop over there. Just in time for the checkmate. Pop over to the next game. And we've got an actual endgame here between Klingerman and Tariq. Okay. Did you do any endgame work in this group, John?
Not really. Not really. We looked at his games and we discussed endgames directly from their own games when relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't teach any endgames to Cash. I just sort of told Cash, which players are better or worse at middle games versus end games, stuff like that. So he'd understand who was trying to do what, right? Like, who should you play more aggressively against? Who should you play more safely against? That kind of thing. Yeah. So.
But still, right? Like most games are still decided in the middle game stage within these couple of rounds.
Yeah.
So the importance of endgame, let's say, is still not so frequent for this level.
Right. Exactly. Most endgames are completely one side is completely winning by the time they reach the endgame.
Yeah.
All right. Here Tariq has 2 pawns, which is, relatively speaking, a close endgame for this level. But what makes it really nice for black is this amazing king position. This king could walk over to h4 or a4 if he fancies himself a snack.
Such an iron king indeed. And 2 connected pass pawns now are created. Same color bishops.
Yeah.
Black will win.
Looks like Tariq thinks he's got enough pawns to just kind of walk them forward. Yep. Not asking the king to do any more work. Here they come. Plenty of time for Tariq. And it looks like he's going to collect his first point of this tournament here in round 2. Get up to 1-1. I think 4 of the players will have 1 point out of 2 after this round, and there will be 2 players on a perfect 2-0. It will be 84 Moose and QQQ1M.
Can we look at the bird's eye view once again?
Sure. Yeah, you can see what all the scores are as this game wrapping up.
He keeps on playing. Let's see.
Yeah.
Wow. Very, very correct play, right? He doesn't go for D2, but King D3. I guess you just making a point here. Making a statement.
Yeah, he was threatening a mate and just, keeping the white king tied down with the black king.
Oh,
good stuff.
Is it stalemate? David, stalemate! Oh my god! Incredible trap setting! Incredible trap setting! Shocker! Shocker of the tournament so far for this day. Biggest surprise.
Oh, the joy of the escape from Klingerman. What a surprise. And what an incredible position it was at the end there. Amazing. On the move where he took on B2, he had a checkmate available.
Yes.
Right? The bishop on B2 covers the king's escape. He could play C2 check, King C1, Bishop D2 mate. If he sensed just how smothered the white king was at this point, right? So King D3, we praised the move for trapping the white king, but then after pawn takes B2, it's a stalemate. Instead, check with the bishop cutting the king off. Suddenly you play for checkmate instead of promoting your pawn, and he could have checkmated that king. Oh my goodness.
And you know what? He had 2.5 minutes on his clock when he went for the stalemate.
Oh, yeah.
He never even stopped for a single second.
Right.
Like hubris, right? Everything is winning kind of mentality. I'm winning anyway.
Ooh. Yeah. He counted those chickens before they were hatched. I was starting to count them too. So.
But even it took me time to understand, right? Like only the final second I understood there's a stalemate option. Incredible.
Yeah. I'm guilty too as a commentator. So it's a good reminder for all of us here not to do any counting of chickens before they're hatched. So here's the cross table. And we see 2 players off to a quick lead, 84 Moose and QQQ1M. Both looked very strong in their first 2 games. I didn't see any chinks, and both of them are among the 4 highest rated players in this section. So they are expected to be very dangerous contenders today.
Yes. And we'll see each other again, David, after the break.
All right.
See you guys.
Join the community club on Chess.com and participate in amazing community events every week. On Mondays, challenge yourself with incredible openings in Opening Roulette. Don't miss on Title Tuesday every week right after Title Tuesday. On Wednesday, join Arena Kings and compete against a lineup of legendary creators. On Fridays, try the all-new Community Freestyle Fridays and throw opening theory out the window. And finally, round out the week by showing off your speed in the Community Bullet Brawl. Win prizes, battle legends, and challenge yourself. Play in the community tournaments every week on Chess.com.
Okay, so I'll show an opening called the Ruy Lopez. It starts when we take this guy in front of our king. This is our king. And we're taking, these are like the foot soldiers. They're the weakest guys on the board, the ones that we can most easily sacrifice, so we kind of throw them forward immediately, although we don't always want to give them away. And then black just does the same thing. So same idea, copying us. And now we take this guy out, our horse. Should I say horse?
Yeah.
And then he is attacking this guy right in front. So basically, if our opponent doesn't do anything, then we're just going to, next move, just take it off the board. And then we're going to have more material. So our opponent is probably going to not copy us, but they're probably going to try to stop us from doing that. So they're going to kind of mirror us, and they're going to take their horse out, which it doesn't threaten us, but it makes sure that we can't, if we take this guy, then we lose our horse, and we don't want to do that because this is much better than these guys. This is really important. So we want to keep those, and we want to make sure that this horse is really not comfortable. So we take this guy out, and then we slide him along. These guys can go really far, so he goes almost the whole board, and now he's looking right at him, and there's nowhere for that horse to go, really. So it's we can take it next move if we want. There's pretty much no escape, and that's the real Lopez.
I'm gonna guess real Gotham or AI Gotham. Here we go.
Why on earth would you play that?
I think that's AI.
It is.
All right.
1 for 1.
Yes, 1 for 1.
That move makes no sense.
That one's real. Makes no sense. Has to be real. It's real.
Fake.
What?
It's AI.
Makes no sense? Was,
Yeah.
no chance. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
What? Oh my gosh.
And he sacrifices the rook!
That one was fake. That had to be AI.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the rook one didn't. It wasn't guttural enough.
What the heck is this move?
I feel like it was too high pitched. Was that AI?
It was AI.
Oh my! It was like I don't think I hit like a. Okay, there's one more.
Let me tell you something right now. Building a chess website, it is not f***ing easy. Right, Chess.com built their website for 17 years. Still being built.
That had to be real. That one was like 10 seconds long. So I was like, okay. Oh, so there was 4 AI and 1 real one. And I went 3 out of 4 on the AI ones? Okay.
David, round 3 starting soon.
Yeah.
Yesterday, things started perfectly for me. 3 out of 3. 3 checkmates in a row. Then we lost 4 in a row. Today, I started with 0 out of 2.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see a reversal of events, hopefully, from my side. I'm still hopeful.
Yeah. You're in danger of castling long here. And Pingu is up against B Chris, who also started 0-2. So one of these two players is going to have a pretty depressing first half to the tournament. They're really going to have to. You're really looking to pick up your confidence as soon as possible, so you can play the rest of the tournament normally. On the other side of the cross table, we've got Moose and QQQ, who must be feeling good on 2-0, and then Klingerman Chess, who might be feeling even better with 1.5 out of 2 because of that escape with the stalemate. I mean, that kind of thing makes you feel positively beside yourself with joy.
Even better than the victory, though, those saves. It's amazing feeling. It's amazing.
Incredible feeling. And so I think a big matchup here this round is going to be QQQ1M against Klingerman Chess, right? We'll maybe see, does 2-0 feel better than 1.5 as they match up against each other in a London system. Whoever wins that match will be, really high up the standings at this point.
Yes.
And yeah, we see Moose repeating the same French defense that brought him a great first round win against Chris. So he's gonna have good feelings, right, as he plays the same line as last time.
Exactly. French is solid, and even Fischer had trouble against it, so respectable.
Yeah.
Cash
Um,
Barbon, is he following your prep, David?
yeah, I mean, I don't think there was any special prep for this particular game. Yeah, this is an opponent who plays a variety of unpredictable things. So I told him it is impossible to prepare this opening. That
Yep.
was our opening prep for this round. Yeah, Jandara plays Alyechin's defense, and here it looks like he's playing maybe a modern defense, Piert's defense. So, yeah, Cash had this situation in the first round as well against Tariq, who's sort of who also played kind of a modern setup. So should be fine. I told him, just play some simple moves, put the pieces in the middle of the board.
That's it.
Play your game.
That's what you need at this level. Not so much about memorization, but basic feeling for the pieces, good development, not blundering.
Yeah. I think Pingu's position is pretty interesting. It looks like a c3 Sicilian where there's some real controversy about the pawn on d4 and the queen on d5. Maybe the knight on c6 could get into trouble if white plays queen a4 at the right time and black isn't able to take the knight on f3 before it hops to e5. So
that's
it's a
right.
very tricky moment.
We must be careful now about d5 by white at some point. He could have taken on f3 and move ago maybe to double the pawns.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite sharp.
Yeah.
Quite sharp.
Yeah. I think something exciting will probably happen in that opening. So I'm going to try and click on that board first. And Pingu has just retreated the queen to d6. And now the question is, does Chris have any great move here? Pawn to d5, pawn takes c5, queen a4, maybe even knight e5 sacking the queen. Is there anything really exciting here for white?
Let's hope not for Pingu to gain his first ever point today. So yes, but white needs to play dynamically. You're right. Otherwise, they are facing some issues in the center of the board. Right, like this d4 pawn can become a target, and the black king is in the center. White is better developed, so this will be sharp for sure in the middle game.
If I play a lame move for white, like pawn takes pawn, we can see how easily white can end up with a bad position. Black trades queens, trades on f3, recaptures on c5, and there's basically no prospects for white in this endgame, right? Nothing good to see there. So what does white do? They play knight c3. The critical move was probably the d5 pawn sacrifice, which might have been bad, but was certainly critical. White goes for knight c3, which probably threatens d5. And Pingu's got to decide, do we take on d4? Do we take on f3?
First of all, let's hope that Pingu sees the threat of d5, right? That's what we talked about, like thought process. Does he see the threat to begin with? Because that's always the first step. If he sees it, he must address it, right? Because it looks dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, good news for you. He didn't play the simple bishop e7 developing move walking into d5. That would show the threat. Now it's defended by the knight on c3. You can lose a piece just like that. So sometimes, people have these opening principles like castle as quickly as possible or always develop a new piece. But in this position, I always tell my students, there's actually a principle that applies to openings, middle games, and end games, and that often supersedes all other chess principles, which is you have to take into account threats, right? You have to respond to your opponent's threats and, capture material or recapture, stuff like that. So he sees d5 as a big threat, and he eliminates the pawn. So that was a great move by Pingu.
That's what we worked on this month as well. This very basic threat awareness, thought process, right? Like which order should be going on in our head. But here, I don't like this queen c7 so much. It felt like black had a better move there.
He backed off. The key move was surely just to trade on f3 again before that knight gets to e5. That leaves white's queen undefended. So you
For
probably
sure.
get, again, a simplification with trades, and a great endgame for black. But he
Exactly.
backed up with queen c7. And
Exactly.
now this knight is going to be able to get to e5. And then your
Knight
bishop's
e5.
lost, and there's threats over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. It really worries me, David. And I saw it from his face. The moment he
Mhm.
played queen takes d4, Pingu wasn't happy. So I think
Mm.
psychologically, he's having some issues during this
Mhm.
game. The
Yeah, he
entire
didn't
day.
know how he wanted. He didn't
It's
know
never
how he
easy.
wanted to handle that.
Never easy at all. Since he started like 0 out of 2, it's
Mhm.
he's done better there, right? He sort of lost control because he could have forcefully exchanged the queens and enter an endgame at that moment.
Yeah.
But his face expression was completely opposite.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know what he saw there. Maybe he was shocked to see queen
Yeah.
takes d4. Maybe not even see bishop f3 as a candidate.
Right.
It doesn't look good at all for black because of white's better development right now, right? Like now the queen
Yeah.
is centralized, our king is in the center.
Yeah. And when knight e5 comes, there's going to be big threats against c6 and g4. The bishop on g4 will go from an asset to a liability, right? It was tying white down. Now it's just floating out there as sort of a loose piece that you can lose in a series of tactics at some point. So,
At least he traded the queens. That's a good sign. But knight e5 is on the board, which is
all right, queen trade.
yeah.
Queen trade's a good sign. Now white's threatening to win a piece over on c6.
So that's my point. He understands that the queens should be traded off, but he
Mhm.
missed the moment of forcefully trading the queens at that moment.
Mhm.
Right? So it cannot be explained by lack of chess knowledge. Like something happened there psychologically at that moment. Like
Mhm. Like, first he wanted to do something better. Maybe he thought queen d4, knight d4. He doesn't want to bring his opponent's knight towards c6. So he sort of backs off. But then you've wasted time and it just gets harder and harder to defend.
Yeah. Maybe it's as simple as he didn't see the queen on b6 was guarded by the bishop on f8, right? Because he
Mhm.
felt the need to move the queen away, because otherwise the queen will be lost. That's my point. Maybe it's a very simple process of not
Mhm.
seeing the queen already guarded by the bishop. So you have time
Right.
for a bishop f3, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it's
Sometimes you just
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes at this level they just don't notice that a certain piece is attacked or defended a certain
Yeah.
number of times. I saw that, there are players who will sometimes take a pawn that they've attacked twice and they don't realize the opponent has it defended twice, or just counting seeing all the pieces that are or not on. But he found the right defense here. It cost him some time, but rook c8 defending c6 was the only real move to cover that square. Now, if you're Chris, you want to come up with a great move. There's pressure on Chris too, right? Because you're 0-2 and now you've got a good position, but if you don't see a way to make it better, then you start having doubts and worries.
That's right. What can be the best move here for white, do you think? Why is the evil bar so high?
I don't see a knockout move for white, so my thought is that actually Chris found the right move. Crazy as it is, the idea is just to get d1 for your rooks so you can develop these two pieces. Because I don't yet see a way to force material win with just the minor pieces. So I think this move was the move to play.
Even allowing bishop c5 check followed by castle short. That should still favor white. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. The only other move I was really looking at for white last move was knight to a4. You know,
Yeah,
knight
that was
a4,
my point. Maybe
going
something
after
concrete
c6.
could be taken.
And
Yeah.
then I expected bishop c5, defending it, and you could either settle for the bishop pair. You can try something like a3, b4, but I'm not sure that that's going to be fast enough to really crack black. But you could just take the bishop pair and then play f3, rook d1 again, similar. But
But
nothing
come
that
on,
really just
David,
yeah.
he's Ben Pinegold student and he plays f3. I mean, I
Mhm.
thought Ben told him never to play f3 and f6, right? Like this is sort of breaking all Ben Feingold principles with what he
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
So that's sort
True.
of a shocker. Sort of a shocker.
Yeah. King H1 played.
Mhm.
Bishop E7. Pingu's close to castling. I mean, the eval bar is intimidating, but from the perspective of even a master, you look at this position and, White's still looking for a breakthrough. Like it's a great position, but no obvious breakthrough. So I think this game is not yet decided in any way.
For sure. I'm happier now. I think my boy will fight back despite 300-point difference. Look at the rating difference.
Yeah.
I think Pingu will fight back. I'm trusting him. He just needs to gain confidence. It's about confidence for him. That was also my observation. He was sometimes resigning too early. Yeah, I checked so many of his games. He was resigning too early. If he blundered, he was giving up quite quickly. So we even talked about the psychological sides with Pingu. I told him that chess is a resourceful game. You should keep on fighting. At this level, people still blunder. It's difficult to convert advantage, just like here. So he needs to also get this mindset of never giving up and find those resources. So important for Pingu.
Yeah. Wow, we've got something really interesting. We've got a game that went to an end game extremely quickly. So I'm going to click over to QQQ and Klingerman, which, as I said, is a huge matchup for this round. And wow, we barely got there in time as they agreed to a draw by repetition. Okay, so this was a pretty equal endgame, pretty equal match between these two. They both remain among the leaders, and we'll just go on to another game then.
Let's see. You're still on Cash Carbon.
Seems to have just trapped a rook in the corner with the knight. If we count the pieces, it probably looks good for white. And the other thing I always check with Cash is his clock, because he can be a little bit slow. And 6 minutes, glorious situation.
You got this one, David.
It's a great start here. He's going to try and extricate the knight. If the knight got trapped on A8, it's anyone's game, right? You've sacked 1 or 2 pawns. If you get your knight trapped, these players cannot confidently convert an exchange up endgame. That's far too tricky. So very important that he not lose that knight, I think. Love this move, Bishop D3. There was also a safety first move here, Knight A6. If you were just worried about your coach's blood pressure, right? You just get the knight out, and then your coach is breathing easily. But Bishop D3 is a beautiful move because trading is going to be good for the player with an extra rook, and you might be able to prevent the knight from coming to D7.
But I thought Rook C8 was a problem. Maybe even takes Rook C8 was a problem, right? I mean, how is that knight coming out now?
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a problem. I guess the point is you can't even take on C7 because of Rook D8.
Check. Because of Rook D8 check, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But of course, this is a key moment for Cash where he's got to use some of his time and keep his wits about him. He can also try very complicated Knight A6, Bishop D3, Knight B8. I don't trust that variation. Very risky and hard to calculate. So, yeah, maybe
bird's eye view, please.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's supposed to do, so he's gonna need some time.
Let's see.
What else do we see? Tariq seems to be up material now.
Yes.
Against Moose. He's got
couple of
just
pawns.
An army of extra pawns at the moment, plus all his pieces are on good squares.
Yeah, also much better pieces, like 2 pawns plus compensation.
Yeah. All right, Moose attacks the knight, but it moves to another good square. I think the bishop's headed towards F4. Interesting. So we saw Tariq with an overwhelming endgame just last round. Now he's got to try and convert another endgame with 2 extra pawns.
Yep.
Right after the last one. Psychologically, are you just being more careful, or are you feeling worried?
I think Tarek is the most positional player, to my observations at least. He plays those, G3 setups, like Catalan kind of structures. He has a
Mhm.
good feeling for the pieces. Positional sense is really good, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's experienced about these end games, like slow grinds,
Yeah.
So even the last game, I think he played great chess, like King D2,
Yeah.
you cannot criticize, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
so I'm trusting he will convert this with ease.
Yeah, and you can see that Moose recognizes that he's under pressure. He is spending more time than he's spent on his previous games. So he knows he's under some pressure, and he's responding by working harder, which is a good sign.
Yes, which is a good move because he's also looking at a5 pawn, although it's already guarded by rook on d5.
Right.
Right.
Plus, this
Quite
rook on b6, the rook on b6 was so nicely placed, right? So when you chase away a piece from a great square, odds are it goes to a worse square.
Yeah. There goes one more pawn.
Best move, yeah. Best move there. And that frees up the rook from b8. Wow, great instincts from Moose. He looks like he's in very good form today.
He's fighting back for sure.
Yeah. And he can double against that f3 pawn, and I don't know that Tariq has an easy plan to deal with it.
Yeah.
He's up enough that he could use the move rook f5 here if
Even rook
he
f5. Yeah.
if he wants to. He finds something else quite interesting.
Oh, good move. Also eyeing the e6 square.
Yeah. Oh, that's a mate in one threat.
What a beautiful
We're looking
move.
at rook.
Purpose. What a beautiful move.
So like rook g7 is a plausible move, saving the rook, and then there'd actually be mate in one. That is crazy. Tariq might be one or two moves away from upsetting one of the early perfect scores or early leaders in this tournament. Rook f6 avoids mate. Good choice. Good choice, but rook h7 check is powerful still. This could be the bishop on c7 dropping here, depending what Tariq wants. Yeah, he wants it. Oh my god.
As we say, tactics flow from good positions, David. White's position was so good, right, positionally, that checkmate emerged from that picture.
It was a very nice position, and wow, Tariq he's conquered the whole board here. It's just white all over the board. Pawns, knight in the center, choice of outposts. Ay.
Let's hope it won't end like the last game for him. We'll see.
I was gonna say, like, a stalemate would basically be the only way, the only miracle that would be left here. Black doesn't have any passed pawn to trick white with, not enough pieces to create a mating attack.
Yeah, but look at this. The black king has no moves already, just like last game. No legal moves. So if black gives up all the rooks right now by force,
there could be some kind of a stalemate. Got another result off screen. Cash Carbon has bounced back from his round 2 loss with a round 3 win. So he moves to 2 out of 3. And maybe we should pop over to Pingu's game for a moment. We can click back here if there's a checkmate or a stalemate at the end. Let's see how they're playing here. Very intense endgame. Very intense.
Yeah, look at Pingu. He fought back. He fought back to get this position. Equal material. Now the pawn on c6 is hanging. Oh, this is a tricky move. Rook c7. Wow. White is setting a trap, guys.
Yeah. Powerful move and hard to find move, right? The idea is also to play c7, c8. And if bishop takes, he wants to go here and win that piece. Now, I think black can play rook to c4 and
win one more pawn.
Save the game. And honestly, that might be the most practical choice versus letting the c pawn keep going.
That's right.
But
I'm not happy.
You would prefer for black here.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just jinxing it, David. If I start watching my students' games, they keep having trouble. So maybe I should not see it. But okay, play rook c4.
Is rook c4. So this to me is risky. It lets the c pawn stay alive. You have to keep defending it with bishop d7.
Bishop d7, please. Yeah.
But Pingu has a little time lead this game and a smile on his face. So maybe.
But that smile means he's not so happy. That's my interpretation. That smile means I missed it. I don't like to be here, kind of a smile.
Oh,
He gave the same smile on the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So I'm not happy about that smile.
Well, Chris is down to 15 seconds. He needs to make sure not to lose on time. He's going to be feeling a lot of pressure now.
Yes, he blunders a pawn. Yes, he blunders a pawn.
He didn't
I'll be
see
like,
a way.
I'll start screaming if he wins this one.
Okay. Everybody cover your ears because White is looking like he might lose on time. Something dramatic will happen in the next few seconds.
Avoiding long castling, please. Avoiding long castling. That's what I want. I hope it won't be Anastasia mate, by the way. I'm seeing that knight on e7.
Yeah. Congrats to Pingu on the time usage this game, right? We have to say.
Take the rook, please. Pingu, take the rook, please. Yes, sir. You're my boy. You're my boy. What a fighter. What a fighter.
Ooh, he's going for blood, too. He's going for blood, too.
He's my boy. That's it. Woo! Yes. We got our first victory, David. This was so important for me right now because last 4 rounds, she lost. First couple of rounds today, he lost. Finally, right? We are back. We are alive.
Yeah. All right. Tariq is continuing to conquer this board, folks. It's like white, taking every single piece from Moose here. It's just incredible. But you never resign against somebody who's made a stalemate in a previous game, right? Never resign.
That's right. I hope White also plays slowly in this one, not like last time.
Yeah, he's got some real opportunities to make a stalemate here.
He also has like 1.5 minutes left, so hope he learns.
He's not using it, He's blitzing here. He's blitzing.
Okay, blitzing. Checkmate.
Right. Checkmate.
Oh, this was a tough round, David. This was a tough round. Turning points, I feel like, personally.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Definitely. Turning points for lots of players, right? Neither of our early leaders who'd started this round 2-0, neither QQQ nor Moose were able to keep the perfect score going. And so nobody is simply running away from the tournament. We've got a huge competition on our hands as we finish the 3rd round here.
Ben Feingold was right. He played F3 and he lost. So his theory is proven once again.
But F3 was a pretty good move there, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Yes.
All right.
Let's go for a small break and we will catch each other on round 4, guys, very soon.
I'll go for a safe bet, like a favorite chess piece. I think that's pretty easy.
Sounds good.
I think I already got it wrong. Let me take a look.
And 1 second, how does this guy look like?
No, this is difficult. Okay, this I can try.
Okay.
I'm going to be artistic on this one. I think I'm going to skip this.
Do one more. We have time. You can do one more.
This does not look like what it's supposed to look like.
The start was really good. I was thinking this is the best by far today, but then you kind of derailed at some point.
That was really, really bad.
Okay, there you go. Amazing.
It's a rook here.
That's a rook.
Yeah, brilliant information. Yeah, I thought you will think it's a knight or something, but...
Oh my god, drawing is hard.
Are you drawing the map now or the chess piece?
The knight.
Ah, the knight. Okay, perfect.
That's the worst knight. And I say this is knight. You have to believe
it. Okay, this looks good. Should have been a door somewhere. Should have been a door, but now no door from this. Or maybe we can make a door here, yeah? So all of a sudden, impressive. Not really, and probably I should add some cat. But I'm not so sure my cat will be too nice. So I just leave here.
I think we should keep this.
Yeah, we can keep it in the...
Like out of the frame. It's so bad.
Have you ever wished you could just play game after game against a coach who actually teaches you stuff? Imagine a coach that plays at your level, tailors challenges for you, and even gives you feedback while you play. Well, buckle up, because that's exactly what we built. Introducing Play Coach on Chess.com. You can now literally play a full-on game against Coach, who talks to you, points out threats, praises your genius bishop moves, and gently roasts you for missing that fork that's been there for more than 5 moves. Here's how it works. Go to chess.com/play/coach, or just hit up Play Coach in the app. Pick your color, choose the difficulty, and boom, you're in. You can even customize your coach. Don't like their vibe? Change it up. Choose a new coach. Want more or less help? Toggle move suggestions, turn on or off threat arrows, the eval bar. You are in control. Coach will break down your play as you go. We're talking real-time feedback here. Strategic tips, motivation, compliments when you crush it, hints when you need them, all of it targeted exactly at your level. Total beginner? Coach will teach you opening principles, basic tactics, and king safety. More advanced? Then Coach will give you tips on pawn structure, positional ideas, the works. So stop wasting time. Go to chess.com/play/coach, fire up a game, and actually start getting better. Coach is waiting for you on the board, and I'll see you around on chess.com.
David, we are just crossing the midway of the tournament, round 4. We stopped the bleeding, we stopped castling long. I'm very happy and relieved. So I hope now we'll write 1-1-1 or maybe even 4 ones in a row moving forward. How are you feeling? Oh, wait, are we playing against each other, David?
Is this our round?
Teams are playing against each other. It's round 4, the critical round.
My apologies. This round might not go well for your student. I'm sorry. I see you care really deeply and you want all the points.
We hit the momentum there. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, momentum is definitely worth something, but Cash also won his last game, so they'll each be feeling fine, I think, going into this game.
84 moves. Yandera versus SM Tariq Islam, Pingu versus Cash Carbon, and QQ1M versus Bchris 11. What are your thoughts about this round, David? Cash also won last round. You're optimistic about the first 3.
I mean, I think Klingerman versus 84 Moose is a huge matchup because both of them seem to be in great form today. Look like they could challenge for the top couple spots in today's tournament.
Oh my God, he lost a piece. Klingerman just lost a piece on move 4.
What did he just do?
He just played knight d4. What was that?
Here it is, folks. Recap. 2 knights variation of the French, d4.
He just took. Wow.
Who knew the French defense?
You said they were in great form today. That didn't age well.
Well, you know, all of these players still have somewhat uneven form, right? Otherwise,
exactly.
Otherwise they'd be over 2,000. Everyone has good and bad days and good and bad games. Another game finished faster than this one, by the way. Check this out.
No way.
This is the round where they let it all hang out. So we had a C3 Sicilian from QQQ.
Okay.
And black first counters nicely, bringing the queen to attack the d-pawn. knight f3, bishop g4, bishop e2, and now a mistake. He goes for the pawn on d4.
Queen take on d4. That's in my blunder check course. Queen takes d4. Oh, okay, this is also a bigger mistake, of course. Wow.
Oof. And
but even queen takes d4 is a blunder. David, can you put it on the board? Here, queen takes d4 is a blunder as well. That's much more thematic blunder, of course. Takes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And QQQ uses -6 seconds on that game. He didn't double check anything. That is QQQ's weakness, actually, is playing too fast sometimes. It's like a tremendous blitz player and tremendously good, but he has so much confidence that he's, playing very, very quickly. If you think your opponent is hanging, their queen, or if you think bishop f3 is a mistake or whatever, you don't gain anything by playing your move in 0.6 seconds instead of in 5 or 10 seconds, right? So playing this fast, you might feel good about yourself 9 out of 10 times, but eventually there's the game where you blunder because you think your opponent's blundering and you just didn't use your time. So I don't know if anybody today is going to be able to punish or highlight QQQ's weakness there. For now, gets an easy point and a nice rest and leads the tournament on 3.5 out of 4.
So well said, David. As you say, in a winning position, you should double check, triple check everything before going for your line. That's well worth investing that time. The game will be over very soon. But if it's a blunder, it might be the most painful blunder in your life. So very well said in terms of time management. Okay, so we are getting ready then. It was only two games left, and one game is Pingu versus Cash. So
that's a
quick
round. This is a quick round, folks. Don't run off to refill your water, or you might miss the entire 4th round. And we're getting extremely aggressive moves on this board as well from Jay Andorra and Tariq. With Black pushing the H pawn forward towards the white king without
Alpha Zero style. What is that? Alpha Zero influence.
And White grabs space on the queen side. I was thinking maybe White wants to trade in the center and open the center because the attack's coming, but no, White grabs their space as well. And so they've each sort of staked out the area of the board where they want to play. It's a very, very uneven position.
H3 will follow soon, I believe. And we'll see that Alpha Zero pawn on H3. As Kasparov said, it's just a worth a piece on H3, that pawn.
Yeah.
We'll see whether Tariq is a good positional player. I think he will find it. Yeah. We'll see.
First, he develops a piece and defends E4.
Yeah.
There is a thought. Sometimes you think if you play H3, your opponent's going to automatically play G3 for you, right? There are certain moves you think, oh, it's a forced move. They do this and this. But there's definitely an argument with Black having 0 pieces developed that if Black plays H3, maybe White could play knight takes E4, and take your center pawn.
For sure.
Right? I mean, they're winning a full center pawn. And what's your attack? White's got all these minor pieces in the middle of the board. So I think it may make sense to play bishop f5 first, as Tariq did.
Yep.
Defend the E4 point. And now White has played H3. And that makes me wonder if there are any tactics against the bishop on D3.
Yes, the bishop is loose. So maybe knight takes F2 is a thought, right?
Knight F2 is the typical way to execute this tactic. You attack the queen and the bishop. There's no time to take your bishop on F5 without losing the queen. And if you capture the knight, Black wins back the piece and they're up a pawn. This tactic in general, it works. Everyone sees the eval bar in White's favor and says, oh, this is a blunder or something. Normally this tactic works, and here it has worked as far as the tactical part. Black did win a pawn. The problem is White is 4 moves up in development, so winning a pawn and opening the F file just make Black's position worse. And then taking on F7 will be an even better tactic from White's perspective, for example.
Yeah, because of lack of development, it doesn't work for Black.
Right.
It goes back to your point.
So I would say in terms of calculation, knight F2, yes, the theme or the pattern does work here. but your position is too bad to use tactics when you've got 2 pieces out and your opponent's got 5. It just sometimes just no tactic can work for you when you're too far behind in development. So black needs to work on catching up in development. And Tariq played e6 here.
Yeah, they're both good players. That they saw this tactic most likely and went for it.
And this one.
Mm-hmm.
95. Nice aggressive move from Jay Andorra.
Sharp game. F6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Black had, maybe safer moves with knight d7 or bishop e7. But I think black still wants to go g5, g4. They're still thinking about attacking white's king, maybe, without the full pieces.
True. And now black can even take the knight on e5 first, right? Like, that's my point. There are so many things that are hanging. I think both sides should spend more time around here. Like, so much clash in the center, so much tension. And they're still playing a little bit fast, to my mind.
Well, I mean,
is the point.
It's a 10-minute game, and they're right around move 13. So they only have so much time to spend.
That's right.
Yeah, before time becomes an issue.
Yeah.
It's true. You want to make sure not to lose a piece when there's a series of trades going on like this.
Oh, Tariq being a positional player, I hope he will find bishop d6 here to implant a knight on d6, to create an octopus on d6.
Mm-hmm.
That's in my course, the art of exchanging pieces.
The art of exchanging pieces, I see.
These kind of operations, right? I love those. A piece trade to, yes, he found it. He's a good positional player, David. I tell you, this guy is very good positionally. So that doesn't surprise me.
But actually, it's Jay Andorra who's playing with white.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I eat my words. Both of them are good.
The words are still good. It was a great move by Andorra. Very, very nice find here.
Dina student here. Nice.
But they're each playing actually out of character for them. And it's something to remember when you make a profile about somebody. It's usually a little bit of a caricature or an exaggeration, right? You say this player is positional, or this player is aggressive, or this player is an endgame player. And the truth is almost always more complicated than that, right?
Yeah.
Tariq is usually a positional player. But this game, he's playing these very aggressive pawn pushes towards the king side, trying to create an attack without coordinating all his pieces, which is unusual. Jay Andorra, normally a pretty aggressive player, and here we see him putting in some positional master touches.
Yeah. Goes back to show the flexibility of a master, right? We need to be good at all areas, and we should be flexibly switching back and forth if they allow us. What a knight on d6. What a knight on d6.
What a knight on d6. Now, let me ask you a question about this knight on d6, though. I want to ask an important question here, honestly. And, we can make jokes about Ben Feingold if we want, but I also have a serious question here, which is, what do you think of knight d6 versus f3 in this position? This is the kind of decision that someone around 1200 can start thinking about, right? What do you think between these two moves?
I mean, f3 is about timing as well. f3 is about directly involving your rook into the game. Knight d6, you can always play later. So there's no rush with knight d6 per se. So that sort of argues for f3 to my mind, right? Because that knight is already a good piece on c4. It does something. But I want to get my rook into the game as well. And also the king's position, right? Lack of development for black. So I think f3 has lots of arguments for itself too. Because you're forcefully opening up the f-file after all.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good point, David. Might be the best move here, actually, f3.
Yeah. So I think a lot of players have a tendency to sort of paint a pretty picture, like put pieces on outposts, like make a big list of all the positional advantages that they've gotten so they can go back to their coach and say, look, like I doubled their pawns and I got the better minor piece and I defended my light squares and blah, blah, blah. And this move probably even wins the pawn on e4. But to my mind,
he traded off his bishop. Okay. Yes, David. Things are happening. That's what I'm talking right now.
Okay, I'll catch up in a second. But to my mind, players are often neglecting things like developing your rooks and just getting attacks going. Sometimes you need to break through. And I feel like if you play f3 here with black's pieces like this, you're going to break through on the f-file. So I would recommend people look at unpretty moves like f3 as well as pretty moves.
Yeah.
End of rant. Trades the pretty piece.
Yeah, trades the pretty piece, as Jesse Cry would say. I guess the point is other knight is coming to d6, but now black is pawn storming on the king side. It gets messy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tariq's really committed to his mating attack this game. He's not hesitating for knight d7 or anything.
Yeah.
E4.
I guess he feels that he's positionally busted, so he wants to create something directly.
But he's positionally busted because he's been playing like this the whole game.
Yeah. Very unusual, very unusual.
It was like we had normal Tariq the first 3 rounds, and then something just maybe that checkmate in the end game made him say, why wait 50 beautiful positional moves? Let me just try and checkmate in the opening next game.
That's it. Okay, and the knight came to d6, while the other one is still on his barn on b8.
Beautiful knight reappears. I assume we'll see g3 check.
Yes.
And then, be very important, whether Jayandara calculates.
Very, very. On the board?
Mm-hmm. All right, so white has 1, 2, 3, 4 legal moves.
Yes. What would you do here, David?
Not that one.
No. My God. Okay. Okay.
All right.
What's
I think
your
the
move?
correct move was to retreat the
d7?
king to g1 or h1. I think
He
2
told
of
me
these moves allowed mate, and 2 of them didn't.
Incredible. Incredible. That goes back to our point again, right? At this level, crazy things are happening. Like, you expect those kind of one-move blunders, like crazy decisions, which is sort of reduced in the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, king h3.
Black lets the king escape.
First of all, both sides are playing so fast. I don't know why.
Amazing. Wow. So where was the correct checkmate here? King takes h4.
Let's go.
We go
through.
queen back to h7. There's queen
Yes.
h5.
Yes.
Right? Just fine. So is it possible that in this position, black needed to somehow
Maybe some
engage
rook g5 move, yeah? Or what? What's coming? I mean, maybe quiet move. Because the king
Rook
is already
g5?
cut. Yeah, I saw rook g5. Maybe it doesn't work. Just to stop queen h5. Is it correct?
Looks correct.
Oh my God, rook g5. But
Nice
that's a
find,
beautiful
yeah.
but also difficult move to find, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
I would say that in 6 seconds, which is the time used by black, that in 6 seconds, very few people would find rook g5. I hadn't found it yet.
Yeah.
So,
because of plenty of choices, right? First of all, you just take a step back and give yourself choices. That itself takes more than 5 seconds, by the way. And then you find rook g5. Yeah, quite a fast decision by Tariq at that moment. Now the king is escaping. What's going on, guys? Is black still winning? Is it queen h3 or something?
Well, queen h3, g3, and then rook h8. Yeah. Oh, man. But he played rook h8 first, and now the king can
But why are they
escape.
playing so fast? I don't understand this still, David. There's still plenty of time, yeah, to figure out these things, especially with black.
Again, they're down to 4 minutes against 3 minutes, so it's a quick time control, so to speak, right? Like it's not.
Yes, but black must sense that they are very close to a checkmate if they just take a little bit more time on their clock. That's my feeling, right? Like the crucial decision is here. There might be mate within 2 moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. But the game rollicks onwards, and for all we say about it would be great to calculate the mate, they may also end up deciding the game on the clock. They might actually run out of time this game, So it's a lot of pressure to balance. How much time can you calculate? Can you find the move or not? How much time to leave on your clock? It's real tough to play rapid chess.
That's why chess is hard. Yep.
Okay. And actually, specifically, I had my players in this group, John. We talked about how we have them each doing tactics, right? Well, I told my player specifically 1 minute time limit on the tactics he was doing. I told Cash because doing a 5-minute tactic is not practical for a 10-minute game. You're never going to think 5 minutes during one of these games. I hope not, right? So I told him, do tactics that take about 1 minute. Give up at a minute, look at the answer, move on to another one, and slowly try and get better at calculating within about 1 minute, because I figured that's about how much time you'll be spending on any major calculations.
Yes. 1 minute max is a good rule of thumb for this tournament, by the way. I made some calculations. Like on average, you have like 23 seconds per move if a game lasts for like 35 moves on average, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you should also not spend more than 1 minute per move, most likely. And that's huge.
Yeah.
But Black didn't even spend like 10 seconds there. That's what I'm criticizing, you know? Like
Mhm.
Black didn't like spend normal time, like 23 seconds per move at that moment.
Right.
To my
Yeah, I guess there's a problem where Black is spending like 10 or 15 seconds on most moves instead of thinking for 1 minute on one move and finding like a clear knockout. Okay.
Finally, the knight is out.
Yeah. The queen and rook made every threat they could. And now it's kind of the flip of the position Tariq had in the previous game, because now white's the one with just extra pawns and pieces all over the board, just everything defended
The
by
attack is
white.
moving out slowly. David, we didn't even spend any time on our students' game so far.
Right.
It's a shame. I'm curious what's going on there.
Okay. We can check on them. Pingu and Cash. Looks like they're playing a pretty equal endgame. How fun.
Wow. Okay.
2 minutes,
This
2 minutes
was
each. Pingu catches a weakness
Right.
on A5. Nice move. Very nice.
Nice move, Pingu.
Yeah.
Very, very imbalanced still.
Yeah. Cash should probably trade and maybe play rook d5.
Bishop d3. Okay.
Ooh, rook d1 could be a big problem.
Okay. The idea is to get the pawn on b5.
Yeah.
But Pingu can take on b7. Let's see.
Yeah.
Good move, Pingu.
Yeah. Now safely up a pawn. And Black has to defend this endgame.
What a shocker, right? We were like from that crazy game to this endgame grind. Much more quiet.
Yeah.
At least both sides have loot for their king, so it won't be checkmate, hopefully.
Right. No back rank mates, we hope.
Yep.
I'm never looking to see back rank mates. Those are just dismaying, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the clock is going to be a big factor now, because Cash is spending 30 seconds on a random move, right? They just need to be spending 2 or 3 seconds per move around here, probably.
That's right. Play rook c3 maybe without much thought, but rook d5 is also, of course, maybe
good. Yeah, rook c3, rook d5, rook d2. It doesn't matter, but 30 seconds, that's a quarter of your time. How important was that move?
Yeah.
One of many.
So my only worry for Pingu is to not to blunder a piece in time scramble here.
Mm-hmm.
As we said, at this level, these are still happening, these kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as it's solid, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Rook c5 still holds. Doesn't lose a piece.
Yep. Both pieces are attacked. How long are we going to spend on rook c5?
Yeah, that's actually quite true. He made a face after maybe he wasn't expecting knight c3, but now he found the best move.
Yeah.
Rooks belong behind the pass pawns. Russian school of thought there. Very Botvinnik style. Let's see what Pingu does here.
Yeah, here come the kings.
Yes.
This endgame is probably borderline winning for white. Cash should try for some counterplay on the king side. In general, I agree with that plan of g5, h5, g4. True. See if you can gain some space, maybe make a breakthrough. But Pingu seems laser focused on the right plan here. Rook b1 and then the king coming quickly to c4.
My boy activates the king. We talked about that, like very basic principles in the endgame. So I'm happy that he placed it on the board, in the center of the board. And now comes the pawn. Good one. Move the king up, please, Pingu.
Either direction is good.
Yes. Let's see what he does here.
Repeats in one.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Rook e1, please, Pingu. Rook e1, please, Pingu. Oh, Rook e1.
Don't worry about it. He can win anyway, just pushing his b pawn. He doesn't need to notice.
Yes, but still, loose piece awareness.
He's focused on his plan, and Cash is neither defending the pawn nor counterattacking. He's just moving back and forth, right, like a deer in the headlights.
You're right. Rook d2 must be tried.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
now
mean,
it's
you either
already-
try to block the pawn or you try to counterattack. But if you move back and forth, Pingu's doing a good job of playing quickly and sticking with his plan here.
My boy Pingu.
Yeah.
I told you, he will make things come around. He will turn things around. It's all about confidence. It's all about couple of good rounds like that.
Yeah, wow. Great game here in this next round.
Never say never, by the way. Never say never. I don't want to jinx it. You'll have to wait until the end.
We've seen one stalemate, so
we've seen worse so far.
Yeah. By the way,
But
Jay Androd did win the other game that we've been watching. So this is the last game in this round. And here comes the death march of the Black King, perhaps. Some checks coming in.
Yeah, there's no stalemate option here.
Right. As long as you give check, it can't be stalemate.
Yep. Rook b2, Pingu. So methodological, so nice.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Congrats to you.
My boy. Sorry about your student losing as me, David.
It's all right.
you said big words before the round, so yeah, Pingu is the man. It's crazy how it's so far totally about momentum from my side. Yesterday, she started with 3 wins and she lost 4 in a row. And today he started with 2 losses and now 2 wins in a row. It's totally momentum game going on so far for me, like ups and downs, Maybe that shows this psychological side of tilt and momentum in chess, even for this level, I think. That's the thing. It's hard to explain by random, coin toss. So at least that's my experience so far with my students.
Yeah. Did you do anything to prepare them for anything psychological? Do you talk to them at all about how to handle a loss or how to get on a good streak or how to get momentum?
It's one of the hardest things to fix in a month. I gave them a couple of articles from Benji Porto. He's a sports psychologist, worked with English team. So some nice articles from his website. But yeah, I did some talk to Moonset yesterday. She's also very much this kind of momentum person, She also has some bad self-talk sometimes. Like she's so harsh on herself. When she loses, she's like so harsh on herself. So I also told her, just not to do that. Gain more confidence. Her ceiling is quite high. It's one of the hardest things to fix in a month. But yeah, that's the thing, I think.
Yeah.
Now we are going to maybe a small break, or let's look at the standings. David, look at this. Interesting, right?
Standing. So we've got QQQ1M in first place with 3.5 out of 4. Then 84 Moose with 3 out of 4. Then a huge group in the middle with 2 out of 4. They don't yet know if they're going to finish near the top or near the bottom. So everything on the line for Klingerman, Cash, Pingu, and Jay Andero.
We are waiting for the last 3 rounds. Will be so exciting. See you within 5 minutes, guys. Small break.
Have you ever wished you could just play game after game against a coach who actually teaches you stuff? Imagine a coach that plays at your level, tailors challenges for you, and even gives you feedback while you play. Well, buckle up, because that's exactly what we built. Introducing Play Coach on Chess.com. You can now literally play a full-on game against Coach, who talks to you, points out threats, praises your genius bishop moves, and gently roasts you for missing that fork that's been there for more than 5 moves. Here's how it works. Go to chess.com/play/coach. Or just hit up Play Coach in the app. Pick your color, choose the difficulty, and boom, you're in. You can even customize your coach. Don't like their vibe? Change it up. Choose a new coach. Want more or less help? Toggle move suggestions. Turn on or off threat arrows. The eval bar. You are in control. Coach will break down your play as you go. We're talking real-time feedback here. Strategic tips, motivation, compliments when you crush it, hints when you need them, all of it targeted exactly at your level. Total beginner? Coach will teach you opening principles, basic tactics, and king safety. More advanced? Then Coach will give you tips on pawn structure, positional ideas, the works. So stop wasting time. Go to chess.com/play/coach, fire up a game, and actually start getting better. Coach is waiting for you on the board, and I'll see you around on chess.com.
David, we're in for the last 3 rounds. Everything to play for. Super exciting. It will be a very exciting finish, guys. Let's have a look at the pairings for round 5.
Yeah, so we've got E. Chris playing white against Klingerman Chess, and Cash Carbon white against QQQ 1M, our current leader. Then Tariq with white against Pingu, who's bounced back from 0-2 to go 2-0 in the last 2 rounds, to John's delight. And 84 Moose in second place in the tournament right now, playing white against Jay Andero, looking to keep racking up that score.
Your boy Cash against the leader of the tournament, David. What are your feelings?
Very, very important match. I think QQQ is a pretty overwhelming favorite, actually, in this section. So we'll see how we do here. Cash was sort of prepared for this line, and now he's got Queen A4 check, winning the bishop on G4. We'll see if he spots it. That would really revolutionize.
Amazing. Yes, he found it. He found it.
Oh, wow. Man.
You talked about playing too quickly, David.
Yeah,
and your student punished that. It's amazing, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing. You should be proud.
My scouting was accurate. I'm pretty good at that.
Oh, yeah.
And QQQ is still not even slowing down, right? 948.
He keeps blitzing. Yes.
Rushing along. So yeah, I mean, we saw that the guy plays quickly. We saw that he plays this variation, and we actually prepared for this advanced Caro line, which is very, very greedy for black. You know, in the past, Cash Carbon always played the exchange variation against the Caro. So this is one of the few openings that we prepared. I only prepared him for 3 out of 7 rounds, any specific opening. I mean, I told him, what to expect and not to prepare for several of his rounds. But this was one of the variations that we prepared. And this line where black plays c5 after playing c6, right? And then also brings the bishop outside the pawn chain. This is like one of the greediest lines in all of chess.
They want everything. They want the pawn back. They want the beautiful French, right?
Yeah.
It's such a greedy approach for black. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And they're like, who cares about time? I just get to take everything I want. And
So your prep paid off. Beautiful analysis. Also, he's Gotham chess student. I think Gotham preaches this line with black. C6 followed by c5 line.
Oh, okay.
So that's a nice target.
Yeah, it's a playable line, but risky. And Cash is just hoovering minor pieces off the board with QQQ's blessing. QQQ playing very quickly straight into a bunch of trades here. I mean, after bishop b5, he plays a6, saying like, please trade with me. Cash is like, maybe you don't know which of us hung a piece, but yeah, I'll trade with you. And then after knight d4, he gives the bishop too. It's
oh my god. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
He's in a hurry. Now he's trying to trade queens too.
Please exchange everything and go to a lost pawn endgame.
Yeah. As long as we don't allow knight c2, the chances of winning are up around 85% here for white.
Let's see whether he spots it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, this is overwhelming.
You're a happy coach. It's crazy how fast he's playing.
Crazy, absolute bonkers madness. Let's maybe go watch another board. I mean,
yes,
I know this game is important for the tournament standings overall, but I mean, white's.
We can come back to it. We can come back to it and see whether we convert.
Actually, I'll just tell you one piece of advice I gave Cash that may be relevant, and then we'll move on. The piece of advice I gave him was, if your opponents play too fast or too slow, stick to your pace. Don't try to play a 30-second game with QQQ.
Yeah.
Right?
So
it won't work out for you. So stick to your time. Is Cash behind on the clock? Yes. Don't worry about comparing your time to your opponent's time. Just ask yourself, am I taking the time that I need for my moves? Do I have enough time left to play out the game based on how complicated or simple it looks to me? That's the advice. Stick with your time management.
Such great advice. Yeah, so true. I mean, he plays really beautiful chess.
Let's go to the
knight a5. Yeah, please.
Yeah, the knight on c5, great move, right? Yeah.
Great stuff.
Let's go to bird's eye view and see what other game you might like to watch here. I mean, you probably want to see Pingu, but there are other games that might be important. Maybe Moose, who's in second place. Let's see what kind of positions they've got.
Oh, my boy Pingu, what's going on there? Okay, this is a little bit surprising. A little bit surprising to me what happened there.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to click on it and try and figure it out?
I'm looking at other games, whether they're more exciting ones, but if not, we can have a look at it briefly.
Yeah, I think that may be one of the more exciting ones. So I'll click to Pingu's game. And let's see what's going on. Somehow Pingu's lost a piece as well in this game. Let me just back up a few moves, see if I can see what happened.
Can you back up, please? How did it happen?
Earlier, where did it? Oh no. Just took a fork in the face right at the beginning, all 4 times, right into his face.
Oh, no way. We discussed this even this morning. We discussed it this morning that there's this fork opportunity. Okay. This was very, very sad to see. Yeah.
It's the 2-step thing. Bishop d6, unfortunate, and then the tempo with e4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the tempo with e5.
Yeah.
Oof. And then, and then you're down a piece as well. So you fight your best. There's always.
Yeah, this is a new system for Pingu that we trained because of Tariq's setup with G3. So we try to, let's say, play a playable system that he doesn't see it most likely. So, and he was good. He showed me a couple of good ideas and he was very confident. But this little tactical nuance of bishop d6 allowing a pawn fork can change the entire evaluation, of course.
Yeah. All right.
But never say never. Never say never. We'll see.
I'm going to go check on Moose, who's been playing great today. 3 out of 4 playing white against Jay Andorov here, representing Robert Ramirez against Dina Belenkaya. I think they did the broadcast together yesterday, maybe.
Yes, and they were like seed number 2 or 3 so far, so they are both competing for the first spot.
Okay.
Important game for coaches.
Yeah. All right. Andro plunders a pawn, and it leaves the c3 pawn very weak as well. So it's a big move for black. Okay.
Oh, David, pro tip by David Bruce. When preparing for an event, replicate the conditions as closely as you can during your training. This is an important skill also for other expertise, other fields. We want our training to be as close as possible to real life. Although there are some isolated drills that also works in other fields, right? Not all the time, for example, what you're doing is resembling the real game conditions. There's also lots of benefit to that. But I believe that in many aspects, that should be our goal, to make it as relevant as possible to real test.
Yeah. I'm happy to discuss it. We've got a critical moment here for Jay Andorov. They took the pawn with their bishop instead of their queen and made things much more complicated for themselves. After rook c1, they're in grave danger of losing this bishop. I think the saving move might be bishop d2, but it's
hard.
A tricky moment. It's a tricky moment. And they try to counterattack the bishop on f7.
Makes sense, actually. Let's see.
But if queen c3, the rook will be hanging.
No,
if rook c3, it will work out.
Yeah.
Oh, rook c3!
He took back the rook.
Andorov gets away with it.
It's amazing.
Shocking twists and turns on those last 2 moves. And these are the moves that decide games, you know? Like, do you find bishop d2 or queen a5? Do you find queen c3 or rook c3? This stuff is decisive.
Dina is probably screaming right now back home as black, so she's happy.
Yeah.
She'll be screaming even more if White doesn't see the checkmate threat right now on g2. We'll see.
Yeah. So back to my piece of advice about replicating the conditions, right? I basically said a month is not long enough for my students to really get better.
David, I have to interrupt you. He allowed checkmate in 1. Dina is screaming. I can hear her scream right now. And Robert is shocked. Robert Ramirez must be shocked right now. He was winning 2 moves ago, and he got mated.
Yeah.
That's chess at this level for you. You know, that was also my observation. That despite we seeing beautiful positional chess today, their floor is not so high yet. You still have a high chance of seeing these kind of huge blunders.
Right.
Even for tomorrow's level, 1500, this will happen, but that's even more in this one, which makes the games much more exciting, of course. Like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Onwards to other adventures. Klingerman is trying to attack against B. Chris here with his own king in the center, looking to make threats against h2 and e3. Maybe with the queen from the b6 diagonal coordinating as well. But it might be prudent to safeguard the king here, Klinger.
Yes. Let's see what he does. Long castle, I think that's still allowed. That's legal. That's what he did.
Goes for it. Righteous. Now, everything looks pretty good for black. h3 is a good defense from white, though.
Yes.
Make him work for it.
Simple chess, activating rook.
Beautiful.
Rook e4 looks beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yep. Black plays really good chess.
He's playing pretty quickly, right? Which you said in the first round that he sometimes plays just clean, improving moves at a nice speed.
Yep. Coached by Andras Toth.
Beautiful.
Beautiful chess.
Yeah. Good defense again with knight d2. You can't defend this stuff. Just make sure you develop the knight and the rook from the corner so that you lose maybe 1 or 2 pawns, but you don't get, checkmated or knocked out. The real danger a move ago for white was not to the f4 pawn. It was that black would play rook he8, rook e2, and then you can't even play the game.
Domination on the open file. Yep. Queen e3. Okay.
Yeah, good move. Taking the file. Rook on f4 is not sufficiently defended, so Klingerman's got to make a choice around trading or running off somewhere. And white managed to get developed, so...
Is he dropping the pawn on d4, though? Maybe black can take on d4, right now?
Oh, cd4 instead of rook f1? That would be a very fancy move.
Yeah.
Okay, Klingerman fancies his chances with more complications. He's not going to say, I'm up 1 pawn, let's just start trading everything blindly towards an endgame. He keeps the rooks going. He thinks they're well placed.
Kings on opposite flanks. This game will be quite sharp.
Yeah.
Blocks
his own bishop.
Yeah,
It
that's...
feels like winning.
Doesn't look right, f4.
Yeah. It feels like winning a tempo, but actually just because you're attacking your opponent doesn't mean that you're winning a tempo. If you've disimproved your position,
well said.
Then white would have spent their time playing f4 for you. Nice move, queen f2, keeping the d pawn defended. And
I think white is sort of coming back to the game right now. That's the feeling, right?
Agreed.
Because how is black opening up lines on the king side? Maybe g5, g4. Otherwise, the rooks are looking a bit ridiculous on the h file. Meanwhile, white also has some chances on the queen side, right? In terms of pawn storms.
Yeah. Yeah, there's room to open up the queen side here. You can also maybe pressure the d5 pawn with rooks on the d file, or you could go for b4 or c4 at some point, try to explode things. So definitely still anyone's game at this point here. Looking around at the other boards, it looks like Cash lost the extra knight, so that advantage disappeared. But Tariq still has his extra piece. So that's the status updates. But this position is really fascinating. 51. So somehow Chris ends up with the E file. Nice for him.
Yeah, I'm seeing g5, g4 is very natural, right? We want to open up the h file. So whether it works or not, I mean, that's the only positive plan that I see for black.
Right. Queen c7 is the choice. Kind of re-centralizing the queen a little bit, deciding that you're not going to successfully break through on that diagonal towards the king.
Wow, he played h4. That's very committal.
Wow. He was afraid of the g5, g4 plan?
Yes, that's the only explanation. But g5 anyway.
But it makes g5 better, even right now. This pawn is already busy stopping rook h1 mate. It can't really defend g5,
We tend to say, right, like, don't play on the side that your king can be attacked. Like, don't make pawn moves, especially in a pawn storm position, when, every tempo is crucial. They want to come and attack you on that side, and you make a pawn move.
Wow, and Klingerman found it.
Yeah, he found it.
Hats off to Klingerman there. That was powerful.
Hats off to him. But how else, though, right? Because that was the only natural plan for black on the king side to make the rooks happy.
Mm-hmm.
Knight h3.
Cruelly given a question mark. That was the obvious move a human would play to stop rook h1 mate. So I would like to remove that question mark.
That's cruel. That's cruel indeed.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like a logical move. Yeah.
Wanted to come to g4, and Chris prevents it. I have a feeling like rook takes h3 is a winning move for black, but it's
Could be.
not very safe. It's not how most people play at this level.
Yeah. I guess rook g3 check follow-up is quite good. So can be calculated perhaps, but how else? What are the other candidates? Is it just rook g8 to g3, maybe?
Yeah. Rook g8 is another candidate move. You could also play queen g4 and play to an endgame, but that's giving up most of your advantage.
Right.
Almost all of it. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, rook g4. With the idea of rook g3.
Yeah, a little bit riskier because you leave the rook, kind of exposed versus your suggestion of using the other rook on h8 to g8. But if the rook goes to g3 in a move, it won't be hanging for long.
That won't matter. Yep.
And yeah, forced move from Chris, getting the king out of dodge.
Good move.
Yeah, now against rook g3, I'd been wondering about queen d5. Both with rook g4 and rook h4,
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how this is working out.
True.
Yeah.
I think
go ahead.
I think we'll see queen takes d5 for sure, as you mentioned. That seems to be the most active, and there's no discover check picking up the queen on d5.
Yeah.
Wow, but he played the passive move.
Backs up.
Also
so
taking
now
away
rook
the
checkmate.
Yeah.
Rook takes g2, king g2, queen h3, checkmate.
Is it checkmate or after king f2? Queen
Yeah,
g3 is checkmate, right?
King f2, queen g3.
Yeah.
King g1, queen h1, rook h2.
That's a good one.
Calculating is Klingerman.
He should take his time.
If we get to see somebody play a sacrificial checkmating combination today, that will exceed my expectations or fulfill my greatest dreams for this group.
3-ply calculation is possible for 1200s, accurate 3-ply calculation, but 5-ply gets murky. 5-ply is more difficult. Your line was a 5-ply calculation, so maybe that's why he missed this one. Although, maybe that's still good enough, because the knight is hanging. He found the alternative. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So B Chris trades off queens to avoid mate, but is down a bishop in the resulting endgame. Somehow QQQ1M won the endgame down a piece against Cash Carbon, unfortunately. And Tariq also convert his extra piece against Pingu. So this is the only game still going.
Yeah. Bad news for both of us. That must be discouraging for you, right? Because he has such a great position. Extra piece, knight on c5. It's like, how do I ever lose this position kind of a situation, right?
How do you ever not win it? Yeah, if there's ever a game you were going to win, it would be that one. So
maybe again, time pressure. He put pressure on him on time, and maybe Cash played a little bit too quickly.
So. QQ plays more or less instantaneously, so it's it's disturbing. He was prepared for that to be the case, but it's still disturbing, even if you know.
Yeah, that's just checkmate. Black one.
That's checkmate. Klingerman, 3 out of 5. Putting in a great performance.
David, if you have time, can we quickly see Cash Carbon to see how we dropped that game?
Sure. Yeah, we have time.
If it's not too painful for you to watch.
It's going to be pretty painful, but I'm a professional.
Sorry about that.
All right, so let's see. We'd had a position somewhat like this.
My screen just froze, by the way. I don't see it.
And came back. So far, so good. Trapped his own knight for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why he went over there with the knight.
Knight c7 was a blunder. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
look
no way
at the
out.
time management.
He had 5 minutes at that point. He's playing right on pace, good time management. He's using some time and he's saving some time for later. So now he's up maybe 1 pawn in this rook endgame. He's got to play rook f6 to keep black's rook from going to b4. He doesn't. He goes to b4. Now his rook's passive.
Yeah.
And there, nice move from QQQ. c5. Cleaning up the whole king side. And, complicated endgame, but the pawns are dropping. And here, if he takes the pawn on d4, that would be a draw. The king and pawn ending should also be a draw. Oof. Much easier to go to e5 and keep the black king away from the pawns. And they're just making a mistake every single move in this king and pawn ending. But, you can see, even for QQQ, who wins this game down a piece, you can see what the room for improvement is, because he missed 3 different wins in 3 moves here with 6 minutes on his clock in an endgame with, 2 pawns. So
For sure.
Just using some more time.
This
But
week,
cross table. Here's the cross table with 2 rounds to go. And QQQ
Dalton is happy. Yeah, he's way ahead, the first spot.
Yeah.
But fighting for, let's say, the first 5 spots, right, will be quite challenging, will be quite exciting moving forward. So there's still lots of fight left, even for our students, Pingu and Cash. Lots of fight left.
1.5 point lead for QQQ.
Yes, David.
1.5 point lead for QQQ with 2 games to go. It means he hasn't wrapped up the tournament yet, but he's looking very, very good. Very, very good.
He has like 7 lives, right? He keeps coming back. Yeah, we'll see you in 5 minutes, guys, for round number 6, right? Round number 6.
Vishy Anand. I met him for the first time in 1988 at the first Olympiad I was taking part. And he was also playing, representing India. And we got to meet him. Shortly after that, he visited to Hungary, to Budapest, to our home. And it was amazing. I've never seen somebody like that before, who was so addicted to chess. He was so much pulled in. All his thoughts were about chess, chess, chess. In his hand, it was always a chess magazine, because of course we had a lot of that too, or a chess informant, always telling stories, playing and analyzing in his head. We played a lot of blitz also. He was incredible fast. He was the speediest, fastest player at the time by far, who I knew. And then later on, I saw him in competition in Vaikanze a year later or 2 years later. He was just blitzing his classical games. He was spending not more than 30 minutes for the whole game. So he was so much into the game, and he had so much passion, and he had so much dedication, and he was so young, and he was just so happy with playing chess. And then later on, tons of times we played together in different tournaments, not only because he was, of course, a great player at a very young age already, the first grandmaster from India, but also he moved to Spain, so he was more European for many years, I can say maybe for a decade or a decade and a half. So he was very concentrated on his results. And he was always a person who was not looking for conflicts. He was very much avoiding conflicts or difficult moments. He was a very solid man all the time. At the same time, at the board, he was always extremely well prepared. And he had some incredible qualities. I remember a story when he played an extremely sharp position in Spain. I think in Dos Hermanas, we were playing in the same event. And it was like a huge, massive position. And I asked him, well, Vishy, isn't this game was so frightening. Everything is hanging. It's a mess. It's dangerous. I said, well, if you're training and you make the right preparation and you work on it, then it's not so dangerous at all. I mean, you make your preparation. So that's the guy he was, that he was ready to put into the game all this work and effort to reach his goals. So this was very special to see him. He's, I think, a great inspiration example for Indian chess. So he's one of the persons, I believe, who we can say that has the biggest influence, but definitely is a huge influence into the next generation. Because what I've seen him as a person who was dedicated for becoming world champion, he was a 5-time world champion, and now what he did initiated in India, and he was the first grandmaster. Now there is 88 or 89 grandmasters. So that's an incredible journey what he's been doing. And I'm pretty sure we are going to see him doing more activities where he can inspire and put very much himself into all these positive vibes and to make the chess world stable and better and enjoyable.
David.
Hi, everybody.
All to 5-4.
Yeah,
Round
2 rounds
6
to go.
Starting soon.
And every point counts. Huge group in the middle of the pack here. And a lot of nervous coaches watching like us. I hope everybody's enjoying the chess so far. Here are the standings. We've got 3 players, Jay Andero, 84 Moose, and Klingerman Chess, who are a point and a half behind QQQ, with some dreams of maybe still winning the tournament or at least getting second place. It's going to be a stiff competition, and we had a huge moment last round when Jay Andero was able to pull off a win and get up to +1 here. Now Jay Andero's got black against Klingerman Chess. Another huge matchup. Woo!
Huge matchup coming. The games are already started. All to play for, all to fight for.
Yeah. There's that Alyechin's defense from Andero.
Alyechin's defense. French. Pingu with white against the French.
Yeah.
QQQ against Tariq. See a London setup.
London setup, yeah. And Ponziani's opening from Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, an unusual, an
Those are happening
offbeat.
quite fast.
Sorry, what's that?
Moves are happening quite fast on Pingu's board. But now he's sort of tanking.
Yeah. Is Pingu comfortable with sacrificing the d4 pawn in this advanced variation?
Yeah, he had some games there. Although we didn't spend so much time on the French, this was a surprise, I have to say. We were expecting something else in this game, not with the French. So Moose already surprised us with his choice. But I'm confident on his abilities.
Good. Good. It's a very, very sharp line, and so far Moose has looked very good in the French defense. So we'll see where that goes. Could be a very sharp game. We've got a queen trade between Klingerman Chess and Jay Andero. I don't have a strong sense that favors either of them. In my scouting, I didn't see a ton of endgames for either of them, so I don't really know who's going to be better in the endgame. among those players.
Yeah, Pingu seemed to have messed up the opening prep slightly because he lost the pawn on d4, and now e5 is also hanging.
Yeah.
So a3 was a waste of time, most likely. And he simply
Right.
didn't see that they could take on d4, probably.
Okay. So he's not very experienced with this advanced variation then.
He's not. And I tried to recall what we did prep against moves, actually, which is now slightly worrying because we didn't spend so much time on the French. But we did check his games. Do you recall whether Moose was always a French player?
Yeah.
This is surprising because he checked in the penalty as well. And we didn't come up with this approach. So I have to be honest here. We didn't have much prep against the French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little tactical moment between Klingerman and Jay Andorra here. Bishop d5 from white, going after the knight, going after the pawn, and potentially the rook hiding behind it. So Jay Andorra is going to need another alert move right now. And to his credit, thinking about the position.
Okay, we actually prepped against Scandi. We expected Moose to play Scandi, d5. But now he turns out to be a French player, right? Maybe he was playing different things, and then we sort of expected that most likely.
Oh man, Dina's done some work with Jay Andorra. Do you see what just happened? This was incredibly high level for their ratings. After Bishop d5, long think, finds Knight c5, and had prepared scene b4 as the resource for white, plays c6 instantly as the follow-up.
Okay, quite a high-level prep, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
That's really good work. That's showing some real skills in terms of how to use your time, how to calculate. Really good stuff. Really good stuff from Jay Andorra. And yeah, not in line what I saw in my scouting reports and prep. So clearly some work has been done between Jay Andorra and Dina. I don't know how to apportion the credit, but definitely some improvement there.
Yeah.
Okay, the bishop backs up and black is safe. And honestly, the pawn on e5 is a bit weak. It's a very pleasant position for black.
Yep. Black is very solid, no weaknesses. The bishop on g7 is strong, and quite a good chance for black, I would say, to play for a win.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Whoever wins this game is going to be well on their way to, a pretty high finish in the tournament, probably on average finish around second place if you win this game, because you'll be knocking down one of your closest rivals. You'll perhaps even draw close to QQQ, depending on how QQQ does this round. So really, really high stakes matchup between these two. The other player with 3 out of 5 was Moose, right? Playing against Pingu in that French defense. So Moose got a couple pawns, and there's a little compensation. There's a little compensation for Pingu for sure, but 2 pawns is a good start from Moose's perspective.
And 2 central pawns. We should say 2 central pawns as well.
Yeah.
That's something.
Well, I like what your student has done, though, given that he dropped the pawns. His recovery so far this game has been good, right? Because he developed all the pieces to the best possible squares. He's controlling e5, so the pawns can't get rolling. He's got bishops aiming towards the king side. I imagine this position still feels somewhat uncomfortable for Moose.
You're right. It will take some effort to convert, especially how to tame the bishop on d7. If black ever executes e5, of course they are happy, but it will take a moment. You're right, actually.
Yeah.
The knight on c3 is not feeling so well. Can be placed on the king side. We'll see.
Could be improved, perhaps. Anywhere on the king side might be nice. Rook e3, showing very aggressive intentions from Pingu. Nice. I'll just say, if you didn't take your time you could play a move like queen h3, just feeling more desperate about being down 2 pawns, trying to make some basic threat with bishop takes f6. These players have now reached a level where their opponents are usually going to see those threats. So if you just make a plain threat with queen h3, you're going to start seeing your opponents defending against it, and black has the move e5, attacking your queen with the bishop, and sort of there goes your whole attack. So white needs to do something more clever if they want to attack, like rook e3, rook e5, bishop e5, one of those moves. So we get rook e3, h6 from Moose, and you see Moose keeping up the pace, even though I bet he's feeling somewhat nervous that an attack is incoming. Pingu brings the rook.
Yeah. We talked about this. Like, don't forget about your final piece, because that was an issue in Pingu's game. Sometimes he was forgetting about the final guy. I told him to never forget the final guy. Involve everybody, right? Make everybody involved in the game. So that's what he did.
Yeah, now the white pieces are masked pretty maximally, and white's ready to either look for threats or maybe even do some kind of crazy plan with throwing the pawns at g5. But we've got to keep our eye on black.
Now there's a big yeah, exactly. We have nothing to lose. We are down 2 pawns and everything to play for. Let's see.
So it could be a knight maneuver. It could be the pawns start moving forward.
Yeah, either knight e2 or g4, h4, as you mentioned, David. Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Here comes the knight.
Man,
he really heard you about using all the pieces. He really heard you on that point.
This was something that was my point when I told you that we worked on feeling for the pieces, right? Positional sense. This was ultimately this. Like, involve everybody, observe your bad pieces, and make small improvements.
Nice.
And I really got good at this in a month.
Huh, that's really cool. I didn't really try and teach anything like that. I just tried to prepare them for the situation. Like, for example, online it's normal to play 10+0. That's a very popular time control. And most of them were playing a lot of 10+0 before CoachChamps, right? I had my students play 10+2. Sometimes you have to wait for a match. I would find them like partners to play 10+2. So I was like, every game you're playing 10+2. You're living and breathing the 2-second increment. You're calibrating subconsciously to what you're going to have to do. And then I set up a practice 7-round tournament for them, right? So one day at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific, just like when this tournament starts, wherever it is in their day, 8 a.m., start a tournament, 7 rounds, 10+2, just replicating that. So then they notice things like, oh, I played really badly in the first game. Let me play a warm-up game that morning, an hour or two before the tournament. Or, oh, I was feeling hungry. I should eat a good breakfast at a certain time, to be ready for the tournament. That was basically the extent of what I tried to do.
You should come visit my podcast. We should discuss all these things, David. That's golden data for scientists, right? Like, try to understand what's the best method for improvement. Yeah. In this case, for a particular tournament, right? Then maybe what you did was smart, because
I basically took it as a 1-month challenge to prepare for one event. I didn't take it as 1 month to become a better chess player, because I don't think there's much potential to do that for the players over 1200 in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
If I were to coach someone in the 800 to 1200 group, I would perhaps look at improving their chess. There's often more room for it. And I also looked if anyone has like a time pressure issue, right? If someone plays way too fast or way too slow, that's something I think you could definitely try to correct in just a couple weeks. Maybe just yell at them a little harshly once or twice about it. So,
but who were the students who played in that round robin tournament? Like 4 students of yours that participated there, or who?
No, I found opponents for them from the dojo. So they played against different opponents.
Meeting bands. Yeah. So you have plenty of students in your disposal that they can participate. Cool.
Yeah.
So Pingu improved every single piece, and now he's asking questions like, right? How do you convert to extra pawns?
And look
I
at
like that.
Moose's time. Moose is relatively a fast player. And, he'd finished developing his pieces, but to not very juicy squares, D7, E7, right? It's just, what do I do next? Everything's looming over my king side. Very
That's
tough
right.
spot to be in for black, actually.
That's right. And now, again, time issue might come into play. Pingu might need some moments of calculation here to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, ideas are knight h5 and knight f5, bringing the knight closer to the black king, looking for some purchase. There are pluses and minuses to every move that you try, but basically we're trying to maybe clear away some of the pieces in front of black's king with some trades now.
That's right.
Okay, he didn't find anything particular, and so he just marked time with the king to keep from ticking down on the clock too far.
Okay. King f1, king f1.
Yeah, just waiting.
Okay. Let's check QQQ's game.
All right.
Fastest player.
All
He's
right,
about to finish. Look at his time management.
Yeah.
Look at the time management.
720 against 1, and he is up a million pieces. So QQQ is going to win this tournament almost without breaking a sweat. He may have had a nervous moment or two against Cash in round 5, although he kept his pace up, kept blitzing out his moves. On his face, he didn't look worried, and here he's going to go to 6.5. Oh, sorry, 5.5 out of 6. Don't mean to get way ahead in my chicken counting.
Sure.
But very, very dominant performance for QQQ here.
Yeah. Gotham is happy.
Yeah.
I wonder what they did during this last month. Like, what kind of coach received.
Yeah. I'm curious what everybody did. Okay. If black had no pawns, Tariq might dream of a stalemate, but with those pawns, we're looking at a checkmate.
We should also check your student game, David. Cash, after this one.
You want to check Cash's game once the checkmate comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're just watching the queen and rook inexorably approach the black king. Mate in 1. By the way, I know you want to check Cash's game, but Pingu
Come on,
here.
my boy. Come on, Pingu. Come on, Pingu.
Has played knight h5, traded that knight, and bishop g7 is looking juicy. Rook g3 is looking juicy. He's got all the ingredients for mate.
Let's go, my boy. You will swindle this game. You will have a beautiful comeback. You deserve it with those small improvements. I love that. Small questions. Small questions. Take that piece, please. Take that piece.
Take it. There's checkmate on h7.
Take that piece, please.
H4 is not bad either.
You can do it, sir. You deserve it.
Bishop g7 is winning. Good position. It's a good position. Oh, Klingerman just won against Jay Andero off screen. Checkmate in an endgame, coordinating the 2 rooks and the bishops. Wow, nice stuff there. Back to Pingu, bouncing around, goes for h4. It's a totally winning move, despite the X on the board. This move is completely winning as well, because the bishop, if it moves, allows rook takes g7. Moose desperately f6, making some space to cover the king.
But slightly worrying, David. Slightly worrying that he missed that. Okay.
For sure.
That's a concern. That's a concern, because the game was over directly.
Yeah. Oh, here he's got a beautiful checkmate possible with a queen sack. Gf6, bishop h5, rook g7, king h8. I know I'm just dreaming, but let me dream. Rook h7,
Yes.
g8, f7. sealing the square with black's own piece, and then
rook
checkmate.
h8. Amazing.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I don't think we're going to see that today.
No, zero chance.
Maybe on day 4, on Friday, maybe we might see some stuff like that.
Maybe. Day 4, maybe, or day 5.
Queen h4 played. And I hate to say this to you with your nerves, Jan, but I would say it's almost a toss-up again after the queen retreat.
It's a full toss-up. Like, don't look at the engine bar. Don't look at the evil bar. I'm seeing a toss-up here. I'm not happy, I have to say. I'm not happy.
Yeah. Actually,
And
I would
that's
have said
the-
h takes g.
Yeah.
I would have said h takes g to keep the bishop on d4 at bay. I think your chances improve here with fg because now the bishop on d4 is a monster. In fact, this allows rook g5 because you've got checkmate on g7 now. That's how good that monster is.
Yes, but again, like his pieces are going backwards. He's missing those sacrifices, and there's much less chance right now. There's much less chance that he will find rook g5 now because he could have taken the bishop directly, right? If he sees this, he could have taken the bishop directly. So it's sort of the same tactic that will be missed more or less.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
not
worrying.
going to see it 5 moves later.
Yeah, this is worrying.
Yeah. And that was also a point I made when we were watching, I think, the Chris versus Klingerman game. Klingerman had this great position that was begging for rook takes h3 or rook g2, but players around this level, sometimes those moves are just not in their arsenal, so they're just not looking at them, and that means they're never going to find them, So the checkmates are almost irrelevant.
That's it. Pingu's puzzle rating was quite low, by the way. He didn't do many puzzle rush. This was not part of his regimen. He didn't solve many puzzles. So maybe that speaks to that aspect, like maybe if he did more puzzles in a way because that was the very basic tactical game, right? Just take, mate. Those kind of very basic, you just see it directly without much calculation.
Yeah.
So that's might be one explanation.
Yeah. Grabs the pawn on e6, brings the king up. Wow, I thought he was going to bring the rook back to e1. That is a mess.
Pingu. He played too fast as well. I can't even see it. I mean, this is too much for me. This is too much for me as a coach. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. Chad, if you've never seen someone die of a heart attack in real time, you're about to.
If I die, call the ambulance, please, guys. Yeah, just...
Yeah. Send paramedics to Jan's address right now.
At least my wife is home right now, so he can take care of me. That's good news. She just came back.
Yeah.
Pingu, I believe you. I trust you. Keep on fighting.
Yeah.
You deserve this so much. You deserve this.
1 minute against 40 seconds with queens on the board and kings exposed. It is the definition of a toss-up.
Chaos, toss-up, roller coasters, heart attacks. Guys, how can I see this? It's like penultimate round as well. It's so critical for me as well. I have to say, this time I get nervous. This time even I get nervous. We'll see.
Rook takes g5 has been winning on 7 occasions.
7 occasions, but since he missed the easiest occasion, there is no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
And now d4, and now d4 is an idea for black all of a sudden, which is a concern.
Yeah.
And he's only 47 seconds left. The eval bar is completely irrelevant in some sense.
Yeah, definitely. The clock is more important than the eval bar.
Don't even look.
You can watch.
I'm not even looking.
The clock will tell you something about what's going on.
Yeah.
Now we see the players. Moose
Good
very
find.
concentrated.
Good find, Pingu. Good find, my boy.
Oh, rook takes queen.
By force. No, what? What? No, what's going on, David? What's going on? I don't understand.
Sorry, man.
David, wait. No, there was a free queen. He didn't take it.
Yes.
I'm going away. I'm leaving the room, David. I'm leaving the room. This is insane.
All right. Come back in a minute. We'll tell you what happened. Pingu's now in deep thought.
One of those,
It's 10.
Like, guys, this is too much to watch. Just tell me when the game is over. Honestly.
We'll tell you. Queen on H2.
I mean, there was a
Beautiful
free queen. There was a free queen.
Yeah.
The queen was hanging.
Yep. And the queen makes her way all the way back to the corner. D4 coming in with 10 seconds on the clock, trapping the bishop on E3. Finally takes on G5. Finally forced to do it.
Definition of a heart
Black
attack.
has rook F2, but doesn't
Definition
see
of
it.
heart
And
attack.
finally we get queen H7. Oh.
Please let me know when the
Check's
game is
coming.
over, David.
Check after check,
is
blow
the one.
after blow. Still no idea
Call
who's
the
going to win
ambulance.
this game. Clock!
Call the ambulance.
It was the clock all along. Pingu won. You
He
can
won.
come back.
He won on time. He won on time.
He won on time. Yeah.
Imagine me like Dino right now. I want to scream, but I have no
It
energy
wasn't
left to scream right
100%
now. I mean,
smooth. It wasn't 100% smooth. Also not smooth has been this
David,
crisp.
I saw, first of all, I saw free queen not being taken, but then I saw queen slowly moving to the first rank, like queen G3, queen H3, queen H1. Then I stopped. following.
Yeah. Well, he trapped his own queen on H1, and it was too much to watch.
This was insane. Insane this bar fight suddenly happening. And yeah. Okay.
Now here we've got Cash with 15 seconds to checkmate. Don't stalemate. Please don't stalemate. Oh my god. A stalemate would be appropriate for how up and down this wild game has been here.
That would conclude
Yes!
today. Yes, he did. We are both happy campers today. David,
Take
this
that
round
point.
at least.
Woo!
And I'm still like, there's delay. I can't see half of things. You tell me what's going on in the next round, okay? If this happens, if it repeats itself. This was crazy.
We'll try not
This
to watch
was
Pingu's game because
yeah,
I don't think you're ready for it.
I think he deserved it. He lost 2 pawns. He made small improvements, healing for the pieces, make everybody happy. He deserved the winning tactic, which he missed 8 different times. And then in the end, he won on time. Right?
I mean, from another perspective, if you can't calculate mate in 2, then you don't deserve to win.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody's deserving in a way, and they've probably all put in work. They've probably all put in work over the last month. So from that perspective, they all deserve good things to happen to them. Everybody who's been doing good work, deserves good stuff in their lives. Most of all, I hope that they, enjoy playing chess, that they gain something from their coaches over the course of this month, and that they'll be able to, keep working forward with it after this tournament.
Beautiful things will happen to his chess. His tactics is the easiest part, right? Like, this is the harder part he's doing right now. Tactics, basic tactics, he will fix at some point. That's what I'm trusting in the long run. So I'm very happy about how he came back in this game, and good things will happen to Pingu. If I can survive to see it,
If you can survive
Great.
to see it.
Final rounds is waiting for us. Everything to fight for. David, so many people on 3 points. So many things to fight for in the final round. That's coming in 5 minutes. See you soon.
Do you have a favorite from the Bota sisters?
No.
True.
What? I'm shook.
I'm honestly happy about that answer, but I know I'm still the favorite.
There are sides in the sisters that I appreciate more, in each of them.
Am I your best friend? You asked me this question, so I get to turn the tables on you.
You're one of my best friends.
He shook his hand no.
She is not your best friend.
I know. Do you think Alex and I are the most entertaining chess content creators?
Yes.
She thinks you're good, but it's a lie.
It's still a lie.
Okay, I still love you. You really
What if
try.
I'm just genuinely nervous answering lie detector?
So what happened is that she gets the question, and she's thinking that, oh yes, they are.
Yeah, but then
And then after a little while, boom, comes a reaction.
makes
says
sense.
that, okay, there are maybe someone else. Or...
Which is fair. I think that's a very fair answer.
Do you care more about your content career than your chess career?
Yes.
True.
Wow. And Dina's very competitive.
It's genuinely very hard to improve at chess at a certain level. Also, time is not in your favor. I don't want to say it's easier to rise as a content creator because it's very hard to rise as a content creator. But if you were to compare, make a career in content creation or in a professional like chess, I think I personally have more future in the content creation.
The fastest, easiest way to improve your chess is now the most fun way to improve your chess. Chess.com's brand new puzzles now have loads of exciting features to make solving a joy. Earn points and race your friends across puzzle tiers from wood to bronze, all the way to legend. Rack up bonuses for streaks, for speed, for accuracy, for daily solving, difficulty, and more. And now, you can get feedback from Coach while solving puzzles. Coach lets you know what each puzzle's goal is and why a move doesn't actually work. And, as always, puzzles will be selected just for your level from our database of hundreds of thousands of high-quality, beautiful, brilliant, and instructive puzzles. So what are you waiting for? Try puzzles today on web, Android, or iOS, and have a blast leveling up your chess.
David, it was a tough round for me personally, but I'm still alive. I had a heart attack and waiting for the final action. Finally, it will end. Round number 7, everything to fight for, besides the tournament winner, most likely. Number 2 and 3 spots are a big deal right now. There's so many people tied down on 3 points. We can look at the standings. Right? 4 people tied, including our students, on point 3. And Klingerman Chess with 4 points. And even Tarek has a chance for the contention. It will be an amazing final round.
Most important for the players on 3 points, because half a point or a full point here could be the difference between maybe 3rd place and 7th place. So very important round for the players on 3 points. Normally I would watch Jay Antarov versus Pingu very closely this round, but I'm afraid that might be too dangerous for your health.
Yes, please,
so we may...
Dave, save my health. You decide. You take charge, please.
Yeah. Cash Carbon against Klingerman is going to be a big match as well, because Cash is 1 point behind Klingerman. Cash is one of these people on 3 points for whom this round is so important. But Klingerman has distinguished himself and is up in 2nd place with a nice 4 points. So a very good start for him.
Cash repeating your line. Cash is repeating your line, David. Let's see if he finds queen a4. Whether he misses that. Oh my god, queen a4 again. David, you're a lucky coach. David, you're a lucky coach today.
I'm not a lucky coach.
Although he spoiled the first one. He spoiled the first one, right?
I'm not lucky. I didn't get any points out of this yet, you know? I prepared this. I hope it was good coaching, but not lucky yet. Not lucky yet.
It's crazy. Same exact tactic in 2 different games. And white wins a piece.
Yeah. We planned it.
Okay, now this game is not so interesting anymore. Can we have a board view again? I want to have a heart attack. I want to have a heart attack today.
Okay.
Just to see how Pingu is starting this game. I'm curious.
Yeah. Clicking around. Pingu's game is a Sicilian?
Yes.
Accelerated Dragon.
Let's see. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. Looks
he did
fine.
Play those structures with black, so I didn't change because he was already good with those structures with black.
Mm-hmm.
So we only made sure that we transpose to a Sicilian against Yanderao because he's a knight f3 player, but he almost always plays d4 or e4 if it's allowed on move 2. So we thought knight e5 is a good idea because he most likely plays e4 and we are in Sicilian territory. So that's what you're seeing right now.
Ooh, good prep. You got it.
Yep. We'll see if he delivers in the end.
Yeah, the prep is only the first little step in a very long journey that is each game with its ups and downs.
Yes.
But yeah, you did the work that you could there, right? I mean, at some point it's in their hands. You've given them what you could.
Yep.
You gave him a familiar Sicilian structure. I gave Cash an extra bishop.
Let's see whether it converts this time. I think he will do it. He learned some lessons from last game. And he was playing against QQQ, which is
he was playing against by far the strongest player. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. So yeah, Sicilian, Andorra retreats the knight.
Eyeing for e5, so hope Pingu at least sees the e5 idea behind the move. I hope he doesn't only look at the move as, yes, this is very nice. Stopping e5 as well.
Yeah. And working on development, letting the bishop out.
Bishop is out.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful because he played those structures a lot of times with black. He has more experience in this particular structure than Yanderao, who plays knight f3, d4 stuff, or different stuff. So we thought, statistically, it will be better for black, more familiar.
Yeah, very clever. Very clever. Good start to the game. Would you put the bishop on g4 here, or would you save your bishop to put it on b7?
Great question, actually. Because the bishop will be traded off if it goes to g4.
Right.
So then it sort of could be justified if how you follow it up, right? Maybe you can play knight d7 to e5. You can play a dark square strategy, right? Because you're giving up your light square bishop and you have good control on those dark squares. So that could be a whole strategic battle after bishop g4. Right? Not sure if he can play it perfectly. Here it is. You'll soon see it, David. Soon see it.
What am I going to see?
Oh, no. I thought it was already live. So you only put... it was only on...
I was just showing your idea. I was just showing your idea, folks. Nice. Andorra showing some familiarity with the Sicilian structure as well here with a4 preventing black's b5, bishop b7 plan.
For sure.
So good move from him there as well. To my taste, they're playing the opening slightly slowly at move 10 here. I like Pingu's clock, I guess. I don't like Andorra's. I'd love to have 8 minutes at least around move 10 here, move 12 maybe even.
Thanks now we smart prep, David. We brought him. Yeah, we took him outside of his comfort zone maybe. That's why he's thinking more. Yeah. Wow, bishop d7 back. This was surprising. Yeah, this was not expected because even knight d7 is an idea in this position at some point for black. And, we were lacking space. Doesn't hurt to trade minor pieces.
Yeah.
This is slightly concerning strategically to my eye, to go back like that. Nothing is lost, of course. Rook c8 and so on.
Yeah. It's just a square for the piece, you know. It's not like white gained anything huge by playing h3. You know, it's an okay move, but not huge. So yeah, now put a rook on c8, keep playing. Game's going a little bit slowly. Let me maybe take a look at QQQ's game, which is going to be going faster. Whoa! He's capturing pieces.
Look at his time management.
Like Pac-Man here.
Look at his time management. Oh, come on, man. This is insane. What's this? He only wasted 1 minute to counter his position.
Avoids mate in 1. Wow. And the pawn coming to queen. So, I mean, a near makes a bishop. He doesn't want the moment to end. He's having some kind of fun or something. Repeatedly avoiding mate in 1. Interesting. Victory lap. Victory lap for the champion. Another bishop.
My screen froze right now.
Okay, well, he's under promoting to millions of bishops. And celebrating. Fun time.
Now I saw it.
QQQ. Fun times for QQQ. Now let's check on a game we haven't seen yet. Tariq against Chris. Boom. There they are. Fighting on into the final round. Queen b6, making threats on f2 and b2. Black is down a pawn, so maybe looking to win it back.
Let's see. By the way, we should invite QQQ to tomorrow's band as well, rating band. I guess it will be a good match, you know?
Oh, I think
the guys
will be fine. Yeah.
The guy is too strong for this band, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, it is a good question how well he would do tomorrow. A very good question. We'll have to watch how they play tomorrow to really
I'm curious.
Have a full answer, but yeah. Yeah.
Do you see any moves here? Because I don't see any moves. I'm okay. Slowly moves are happening.
Yeah, it was a long think there from Tariq, which was justified. It's an important moment. Black's making these threats. Tariq decides to counterattack with bishop f6. I think the correct move would have been knight e3, blocking f2 off and improving the knight on c2, which isn't so good. He took on f6, and Chris seizes the opportunity to take on f2 with check instead of recapturing, and that's absolutely correct. Exploiting this bishop f6 move. Let's see if Chris can get on the board here. King h1.
To win his first point today, right? It'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of people who persevere. Queen g4 not only allows queen f6, it allows bishop g4. Which
round number 7 effect. Round number 7 effect, David. Tiredness.
Well, this could be one of my favorite chess stories, the persistence pays off story.
That's it. Chris fights back. He keeps on fighting, and he will win the first point.
Yeah. Now with an extra queen. Let's check in on Cash and Klingerman, because I think they've been having a really insane battle, actually.
Yeah, this looks wild.
Look at this.
We missed it. We missed the party here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. So knight e5, rook f8 is the point, right? Or what?
Yeah, the point is rook f8, yeah.
Cool.
Retreats the queen, but it's still in danger. Oh my god. And I think
doesn't see the bishop is pinned. Oh my god.
I think Cash had so many pieces that the way to win was just to take that knight, you know? I think you just take the piece, and then Black plays rook f8, and you take their rooks, and I mean, he's got an army against a queen and a rook, right? He's got something like 4 minor pieces against the queen. But he plays queen f4, and Klingerman is calculating. This is about as big a chance as you might get with knight d3 check.
He's a swindler, right, Klingerman? He's a swindler. That's his second swindle today. Amazing.
Cash feels it.
Forceful.
He screams.
He screams.
It hurts.
It really hurts. Cash, he lost a game with an extra piece, and now he's losing this game as well. It must really hurt you as well, David.
It does. I can confirm.
Yeah.
Can confirm. There's still a possible mating pattern with the bishop on f4 and the other bishop on e6. But black will probably take the bishop on e2 next move. So I think I will give up. No. Never give up. Cash won't
Never give up. Never give up at this level. Never give up.
But I think I will take us back to Pingu's game. Sorry, John. Hope you can survive it.
I'm ready for a heart attack. I prepare myself. My wife is home. I'm safe.
Yeah. But this is the most balanced of the games because the other two games each involved a queen being hung. So.
Yep. Very positional. Very quiet so far. Queen c6. Nice.
Yeah. Might we see like a calm
Pingu's position? Very calm.
Yeah, might we see a calm, errorless endgame while on two neighboring boards people are hanging their queens?
Exactly right. I have this reputation of being a positional player, quiet player, good chess, sound chess, and Pingu is definitely showing his learning now. Even the last game, small improvements, this beautiful grind against Cash in the end game.
Mm-hmm.
If all goes normally, I'm trusting my man. If everything goes normally without crazy tactics and complication, I think I'm very happy. But once things go in different directions, he tends to lose confidence. And he starts making moves like, queen h3, queen h2, queen h1, just like in that last game. Time is also an issue, of course. In time trouble, he seems to panic.
Yeah.
So, still, it's complete equal position, probably.
Yeah. And Andorra had some moments of brilliance here, but I understand what you say. If the game is more simple, then we've seen Pingu already play very well in one endgame. So
yes. Yeah.
Exciting move he chose here. Opening
F5,
up rook.
Making the rook happy. Exactly. We talked about pawn breaks as well in our lessons to make our pieces happy. Pingu, please see knight takes e7 threat. Please.
Here's a very tricky moment. Very complicated as pawn takes pawn attacking the queen. Knight takes e7 check attacking the king. Knight c6, pawn takes queen. It's really, really messy. You'd probably feel safer if he just defended e7 with one of his rooks.
Yes.
But then there's rook c1. So, it's sometimes you can't keep it simple.
If he survives next three moves, I am very hopeful about this game. If he survives tactically, I'm very happy and hopeful. Good start.
His move avoids the worst tactics. It avoids knight e7 and rook c1. So
exactly. Good vision.
And into the endgame we go, I think. Hooray.
My boy shines in the endgame. Welcome. We are welcoming an endgame. Please, Pingu. You will shine. That bishop on g7 is gold in the endgame. Come on. Bishop pair is a strength in the endgame. Pingu, you are my boy. You are my boy. No complications. Nothing. Simple chess. You will see a grind right now. You will see a grind.
Maybe.
And I will be a happy coach today. I will sleep like a happy coach today.
Oh, yeah. If you get one more point here, you can be very happy. The players on 3 out of 6, they just need to score now.
I'm so happy if he wins this. All is well if it ends well.
Yeah.
Take it, Pingu. Take it. And go rook c8, please. Please. My boy. Knows his stuff. Knows his stuff. Rook c8, please.
Now this file is big. The file is screaming at us. And he goes to it.
David, this man knows his endgames.
So does White. White counters the file.
Yes.
So what's next? What's next?
We have an extra pawn with black, right? That's like money in the pocket.
Sure.
No complications. Simple chess.
Mm-hmm.
But what's next? That's a great question.
Yeah.
What's the final piece that should improve? Rook e8 is suspect to my mind. Why rook e8? Maybe he wants to play king f8.
I was kind of expecting it because to a certain extent, it's not easy to do much for white or black. Sometimes you just have to play a little move and, you know, pass it to your opponent to come up with something. And this way your king can inch closer to the e7 pawn. You know, if you're not yet sure, do you want to play rook c6 or not, which is kind of like the really big question for black. You play rook e8 and let white think about it.
Now, of course, white can throw this rook c4 move, right? Rook c4 is a real thought for white right now.
Yeah.
If you take, then the b7 pawn is the target. Let's see if he finds it. That's a great try, strategically, like practically, to play rook c4.
Yeah. And I imagine that rook c6 is an acceptable answer for black, but it's a question of whether or not black has accepted.
That's right. That transformation.
Yeah. So, tricky little moment here. Tricky little moment.
b4 on the board. He wants to go b5. Logical. Yeah. Tricky. Still very tricky.
Here comes the passed pawn. It separates from the rest of its structure.
Which is always a critical decision.
Yeah. He thinks he can probably keep it defended on d4 if he needs to.
Yes.
But it does open up this bishop, which makes it a little harder for him to deal with the b7 pawn. If white finds a way to cause some annoyances with b5 and stuff, it's going to be a little tricky to handle for black.
Yes. So now I'm already not so happy because I see counterplay after b5. So maybe rook c6 was the thought, David, early on. All this and rook c8.
Okay, Andron makes immediate use of the bishop, avoids the rook trades, right? Keeping more tension and fight in the game, and probably still planning to play b5 next move. So it's an interesting try.
Very good try. Yeah, well played by a white player.
Yeah,
he's doing his best, and it's anybody's game. Honestly, it's anybody's game because I see a plan of after b5. I see white is improving.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not easy to improve the black pieces. You know, the best thing I saw for black was bishop h6, bishop f4, but that's like rook takes g5 in the previous game, right? It's something that you're not going to see, so kind of irrelevant.
That's right.
To the players, you know, you can move the pawn safely to d4, but ultimately you've got three pieces that need to get into the fight more, and so it's not easy to play here.
That's right. And even the e6 pawn, being weak itself, is still choking the black king. That's kind of a strength for white still in its position.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky. Very tricky. It's a 3-result game.
We have his first win for B. Chris, and Cash Carbon just took the queen over here. What just happened? He was down 6 pieces a moment ago.
Wow.
What did he even have here? Oh my gosh, watch this sequence.
He blundered knight c6.
Knight c6 double check. Even that, black's still winning, but then black plays a6, getting rid of back rank mate.
Andras Toth is having a heart attack in Australia right now. If he's watching, it must be midnight.
Completely impossible, implausible. Well, let's say this for Cash. He never gives up. This is not something I did for him, right? This is just for him. Like from the very first day I saw him play, he was very tough in positions like end games down a piece or down a rook. He just keeps going. Never gives up, never resigns. That's just his basic attitude. But what I really wanted to do was compliment Chris here on the perseverance.
Great stuff, Chris.
6 rounds of suffering, and he maintained his composure, his effort level, and you know, if I won this 7th game, I'd be more proud of that win than of like any other game I won during a good tournament, because that is just so hard to do.
The same thing happened to Southern Round yesterday. He lost his first 6 games and won against my final round.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That is incredibly impressive.
Impressive stuff. Yes.
Your guy won a rook. You can celebrate.
My guy won a rook. My boy won a rook.
It doesn't really make sense in an endgame, but
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but can you go back to that moment? Because I thought White was taking over the game.
I'll show you the
White
tactics he found.
Oh my God! Rook takes
found-
d4. What?
I don't know what they're doing, honestly.
Okay, honestly, just like the last game, David, when pieces were flying, he didn't see a hanging queen. The same thing happened in time trouble. Ay. Coin toss.
Yeah.
And I was on the lucky end on both
And
coin
now
tosses.
doesn't take the bishop on c5. That's random. They have 10 seconds on the clock, or what are they doing? No, they just don't see all the captures yet. Not always.
Oh, I will go to sleep as a happy camper today after what just happened. Last couple of rounds.
And the celebration got that last
celebration
point,
for both of us. David, look at him. He's holding his heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's saying that one was for you, coach.
That's for you. That's for you, Cleveland. That's it. That's it. Everything is good when it ends good. Humans tend to remember the very last moment of events. So I will remember this event as a very pleasant experience, given how it ended.
I want to say something about Klingerman chess, though. I could be wrong. This is just my assessment. But from, a month ago when I first looked through all these players' profiles, scouting who I wanted to draft to my team, to, making profiles of all these players for cash so he'd be ready, I think Klingerman might have improved the most this month of anyone. He had a phenomenal performance here today with 4 points out of 7, like Pingu.
Pingu, my boy, started with 0 out of 2 in that psychological state of mind. He was almost giving up on round number 3. I was so worried when he played Queen C7. That's a critical game, by the way. Turning point of the entire tournament for him.
Oh yeah.
He came back on round 3. And what a tournament he played. I'm proud of you, sir. Pingu, I'm proud of you. Wishing you all the best, sir. You made your coach proud.
Yeah.
Okay, all the games ended, David. What's the final result?
All the games ended. Let's have a look at our final standings. In first place, QQQ1M.
But wait,
6.5 out of 7, no doubt.
But wait, yes, Pingu is number 3, of course, my boy. Yes, QQQ1M, 6.5, the first seed.
Yes. No doubt there on the victor. Then we've got 3 players scoring a very creditable 4 out of 7. Well played by all 3 of those players in this tournament to rise up into the top half, win more games than you lose. 4 and 3 for Klingerman Chess, Pingu, and Cash Carbon. Followed a point behind by Jay Andorra and 84 Moose, who had some great moments, some flashes of brilliance, but ended up just outside of the top half of the standings.
Amazing stuff. Okay, so the Speed Chess Championship is right around the corner. Rivalries abound as all 4 of last year's semi-finalists return to the battle. But can anyone step up their game and dethrone reigning champion Magnus Carlsen? It all kicks off on October 13th as the strongest players in Speed Chess fight for a seat at the live finals in London. For all the details, use !SCC in chat. With this announcement away, David, we will give a short break.
A short break.
And then we will interview the tournament winner.
Excellent.
See you guys.
See you soon.
I don't remember the first opening trap that I learned about, but I do remember the first classical tournament game that I played, which was also my first tournament game in general, featured a trap that I sadly fell for. So it goes like this. This is called the Englund Gambit. It's a terrible opening, don't play it. And you go here. And the idea is to regain the pawn. At this point, I was 8.5. I'd never seen this opening before. And so I chose to defend the pawn with the bishop, which is an excellent move. Now comes the point. Black goes here with the queen. Now, if white blocks the check with the bishop, white is generally much better. Again, don't try this at home. I didn't do that. I went here with my queen. And now, sadly, once black takes this pawn, white is already lost. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was just thinking, bring out the queen, don't move the same piece twice, etc. Evidently, I didn't think enough. And now the idea is that the rook is trapped, and if you go here, protecting the rook, just like in Harry Potter, the bishop comes out.
Once I make my move, the queen will take me. Then you're free to check the king.
And pins the queen, and if that isn't bad enough, white, trying not to lose both the queen and the rook, will probably try and go back with the bishop. Then you take the queen, you take with the bishop, protecting the rook, and this is a most embarrassing checkmate. So I don't remember exactly what I did. What I do know is that I lost this game swiftly, and I didn't fall for this trap again, and I hope you don't either.
My king is a little open, and I need to develop my pieces. How about pawn to a3 with the idea of pawn to b4 and then bishop b2, pressuring the e5 pawn? Hey, I need your help with this puzzle.
Yeah, for sure. It's knight d5.
You think so?
Yeah, you either get a beautiful knight on d5 or black captures and gives you a strong pass pawn.
No way, the little guy will never survive without active pieces protecting him.
I'm just saying, I win positions like this all the time.
Hey, coach, we need your help.
What do we do in this position?
Oh, play bishop e3, develop the knight. This is a textbook case of a bishop-knight imbalance. You play b3, restricting the knight, and that sets the stage for a later pawn a4 block, gaining some space on the queen side.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
No worries. I'm International Master András Tóth. I'm presenting to you Jeremy Silman's masterpiece, The Amateur's Mind. In chess, in order to win games, we need to come up with masterful ideas, and that is exactly what this course is going to teach you about. We are going to weed out the faulty amateurish thinking, and we are going to replace it with masterful habits. And today, you are welcome to start this journey for free on Chessable.
Here we talk with the champion. Here we talk with the champion of the tournament, QQQ. Welcome. It was a crashing victory. Congratulations in winning this field.
Thank you.
How does it feel right now, right out of the tournament? What are your feelings?
Yeah, I'm really happy about all the games, and I feel really good. And this pushes me forward to continue improving in chess. And thank you all for all this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Now, we thought that you're probably a big fan of Levi Rosman's. Is that true? And how was it to learn from him?
Yeah, it was like a dream coming true. I basically started serious chess from his videos. And I was really happy when he picked me in the draft day. And lessons with him and advices were completely good. I loved his teaching style, and he helped me a lot and thanks a lot.
How are you playing so fast, by the way? We were really like amazed with your speed of play. Did Levi say
Yeah.
something about slowing down, or how can you be even so fast in those rapid games?
Yeah, he always told me to slow down, and focus. But I'm usually a blitz and bullet player, and in this tournament, I really tried my best to slow down. Yeah.
Nice. So that's something you're still working on, and that was the slowing down version. One last question for you. What are your next goals in chess? Like, now that you've worked with Levi Rosman, do you have any other dreams now that you've won this tournament? Like, what's next for you?
Like, I just want to keep playing chess and enjoying it and continue improving online or over the board and like do my best.
Well, we thought we should invite you again to tomorrow's band QQQ, and you should compete with those 1500s. that could be a nice way, right? Well done. Congratulations for today.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Have a great chess journey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Here, folks, we have the updated standings after 2 days of CoachChamps. These show the points gained yesterday plus the points gained today by all the coaches. So you can see that very happy, probably, like QQQ, is Levi Rosman in first place now with that first place finish by QQQ. And in second place, we have Dina Belenkaya with 4 points today from Jay Andorov. Archer's Naxons won yesterday with Nabolini. He picks up 2 points today and remains in third place. And John, you make the biggest leap. You got 6 points from Pingu and leaped up from the basement.
My boy lifted me up. He raised my chess floor, so to speak. But that was expected. I was having high hopes on Pingu. He didn't disappoint. But what a show he did. What a swindle he did in the end. What a roller coaster he did. The way that he did this was the most amazing thing from today. That was just unforgettable from my side. Yeah. Tomorrow will be amazing as well. Tomorrow, the next level, next band is beginning. Same time as today. So our students that are under 1600 will compete in round robin tomorrow, same time. And you can see the coaches and the students on this screen. I'm having high hopes. Segaleta was my first pick. And that guy is a very serious adult improver. I have high hopes on him. Wishing him all the best already from today.
Yeah, I'm wishing all the best to all the people playing these tournaments. You know, I hope everybody enjoyed their month of training and that they can enjoy the tournament, that, you know, they don't feel too much pressure in this situation, which otherwise is pretty new for them. So I hope that Segayeta and Drama Queen and Frank and Learner of Games and everybody has a good time tomorrow, as we all mostly had a good time today. And John, it was fun talking with you about the games and the training that everybody's been doing. Thank you, everybody, for watching with us. And that's it for today's show.
David. Thank you so much for your company. It was a great show. As I said, I will invite you again to my podcast. I will have a deep dive on the methods, on the fine details of our approaches and their results in the end. This is super interesting data for us chess coaches. Also scientifically super interesting to compare and contrast. Yes, warm welcome to my show after this tournament as well. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for staying with us until the end. It was a great show, very exciting finish, and catch you tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye.